broken system, chained and tangled up in lies. Voices shouting, screaming in defeat. Politicians playing games under darkened skies. Hope lost in the dust of the street. Red and blue, colors pouring from the sky. Debates turn to anger, the crowd gets loud. Punches flying in the blink of an eye. Truth buried deep beneath the shroud. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Faces on the screen, flashing perfect teeth. But behind those eyes, just rotting greed. Politicians turn to whispers beneath. They all just get what they need. Whispering conspiracies, drowning in their lies. Echoes of freedom, lost in cries. Spin the wheel of fate, let's see who rise. But this game will bleed you dry. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak will survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak will survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Bullpen. Every Sunday night, we got Lil Chad, Comix Division, and joining us once again is Keri Smith, the Deprogrammed. How's everybody doing?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You've been on a little bit of a roll over the past couple weeks, huh? A
Yes.
little bit of a run. Yeah, with
I'm trying to think. What have I done?
some cultish...
You know about my doctor's appointment? I'm kidding.
Oh,
No, what's going on with the doctor's appointment?
what are you doing there?
Nothing. I'm just thinking of all the stuff we've been doing in real life. My husband and I, we've had a busy couple of weeks. But a real roll this week that, well, you know what? I'm very excited. I pre-recorded 2 interviews. My husband's editing them. They'll be out soon. And one of them is with this guy. I love this guy, Scott McLeod. He's running for Congress in the 10th district in Texas. And I got to do it in person, which was great. And I just got a great feeling from him. And I don't think that's usually the case with politicians. And so I can't wait for that one to come out. And you guys should meet him, see what you think of him, have him on.
Yeah,
Nice.
we would be happy to, especially since Comix is down in Texas. So
Yes.
Yes.
And this guy, he has this very long military background. He's got experience. He was put in charge of the border at one point. He has experience with natural disasters. So he's got the whole military thing, but then he's also currently the headmaster at a private Christian school. And he's been doing that for 6 years. And he's just very well-rounded kind of leader and very
Nice.
confident. And the kind of guy, you guys know, when you walk in, you shake someone's hand, they have a firm handshake and they look you right in the eye.
Mhm.
It's like that kind of confidence, like a good leader.
nice. Well, we'll hope that he actually gets that position.
Yeah.
Well, I was more specifically talking about cults and cultish behavior and a certain
yeah.
somebody here on the internet because you've been.
I
she's
have no
been
idea what you're
taking,
talking about.
Is there a cult happening?
Is there somebody
bit.
that you got into a bit of a scrape with? That's unheard of.
Oh, yes. Well, I figure, so you asked me if I wanted to come on and talk about this whole Candace subject and everything that's going on the internet. And I said, well, as long as you know, I have a strong opinion about it. And I'm pretty sick of all this crap,
Yeah.
honestly. And
You and me both, honestly.
I'm so sick of it. And I'm so angry. And I'm trying to figure out how to use the anger in a godly way and not in
Constructive
a,
way. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, basically, I just heard the news that Erica Kirk's going to meet with her privately tomorrow, and I replied to Megyn Kelly about it and said, "Great, so the target of narcissistic abuse, like the victim of narcissistic abuse, and I'm talking about a 3-month-long, one-sided campaign of destruction from a malignant narcissist." The target of that, one of the targets of that, has to go and sit down and meet with her abuser in person to ask for the abuse to stop. And we're supposed to pretend like this is like a normal parlay. And this is great. And, kudos to her, hats off to her. She's a much stronger person than I am, that she thinks she can do that. But I don't think I don't think anything positive is going to come of it. And, unless hopefully she's recording the whole thing, and unless she's able to, point to it later that, hey, I sat down with you and you're still doing this. But I'm sickened by all of it. I'm sickened by it. Megyn Kelly posted some article calling it a feud. It's not a feud. This isn't a feud. This isn't drama. This isn't a fight between two people. This is a 3-month-long campaign of harassment, defamation, destruction of a person during one of their most vulnerable, traumatic events of their life. And you decide you're going to piss all over their husband's grave, and you're going to piss all over his memory and everything he built and all of his friends, his family, his pastors, for goodness sakes. And and you have no moral boundaries whatsoever. There's no bottom to what you will stoop to try and destroy Charlie's legacy and everyone he held dear. That's what we've been witnessing for 3 months. And then it gets reduced to feud.
I think it's worse than that, Keri. I think it's a grift. She's doing this to make money, which I find far more disgusting than if she actually believed it and was basically telling people her honest opinion. It's like she is literally lying to make a buck, and that's absolutely disgusting.
Yes, I don't think she believes.
I don't think she believes it either.
Well, I'm making idiotic demands.
And they don't believe anything.
You need to tell me where he's buried. I need to be able to go see the grave and then send all of my crazies after it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so they can vandalize it?
Yeah, and also
that's exactly what would happen, yeah.
They have been inundated for 3 months. So first of all, imagine what it was like to go through. Imagine losing your loved one in such a way, such a violent, evil, public, disgusting way. And then you have to endure that, right? And then I can't even imagine enduring that, first of all, getting through that. And then while you're trying to get through that and reckon with that and come to grips with this new reality without your loved one, then on top of that, you have to endure half the country, all of the crazy left celebrating it, making memes, making jokes, mocking you, mocking your husband, mocking your friend, the father of your kid, just the most disgusting cruelty from half of the country. You have to endure that. And then
you get a pile on from your own side.
You get a pile on from supposedly your own side, yes, and you have to endure. They've been inundated with death threats, kidnapping threats, the kind of stuff we can't even, I know what I get, and I'm a tiny little account on, I cannot even imagine. I know what I got. Candace featured a clip from my show.
She directed people at you, didn't she? Just a month ago?
A month ago. And the thing is, that's one little tiny clip. And I know what I've probably heard from around 1,000 Candace cultists since then. And that's just one tiny clip. I cannot imagine the amount of vitriol and death threats that they've had to be on the receiving end of. And what did they do to anybody? What did Erica Kirk do to anybody to deserve this? And I can't tell the difference between the hateful posts from leftists and some of these candy cultists anymore, because of the same disgusting stuff. I've said like 1,000 of them have reached out to me, and they just post these disgusting memes of Erica and talk about can't wait until this bitch burns in hell. And, just what is wrong with you? That's it. Yep. I'm off my soapbox.
No, that was what we're here to talk about tonight. I mean, I guess, so Matt Walsh finally broke his silence. Megyn Kelly finally broke her silence and stopped. Well, she, during her little tour, Candace was brought up, and the things that she was saying by Ben Shapiro, and Megyn basically said she's not the mother of the internet, so she doesn't need to make responses to everything. But it's like, what Candace has been doing is disgusting. So yes, you may need to make some comments, because if it was a leftist doing it, you would have been commenting. So why, if it's somebody supposedly from the right, are you going to stay silent?
That's easy, because it's your own side. And that, when a lot of people have a hard time calling out their own side, that's part of the issue.
It is.
I think also Megan's
this is demonstrably crazy.
I think she's afraid of her. I think some people they're afraid of her turning her demonic. It's like the eye of Sauron. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
My husband said this the other day when somebody told me a month ago or whenever that Candace had featured me on my show, and it's like the eye of Sauron has found you. Like
focusing the evil gaze,
focusing for just a second. But I'm sure she's scared of her.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I've never trusted her ever since her social autopsy days. And it's
You're
like,
talking Candace, right?
Yeah, Candace Owens. She, for those of you who weren't aware, originally Candace was leftist, and she created a website. What's that?
And then she was red pill black.
Yes, she was red pilled. But during the time when she was a leftist, she created a website called Social Autopsy, which was basically a way of kind of doxing people, or gathering what they consider to be the worst posts that somebody was posting on social media. And it's been a hot minute. I don't remember all the details, but I think what the ultimate goal behind it was to get who you actually were and post that information, so people could actually see what Bob Smith is actually posting online. So, like I said, it was initially I think it was more like along lines of a doxing site. So that tells you everything you need to know about her.
It tells you everything you need to know, and let's go back even before that, because you can see patterns with narcissists. Some people were upset. They're like, why are you calling her malignant narcissist? I'm like, because she fits the criteria. I don't run around calling everyone that. They're like, somebody asked me in the same thread, what do you think of Candace Owens? What do you think of Dave Smith? I'm like, Candace Owens is a malignant narcissist. I think Dave Smith is just an arrogant moron. He's not a narcissist. Like, I don't just throw malignant narcissists around. I think she fits the criteria. And if you look at her history, she has a history of everywhere they go, they cause chaos, they cause division. They have a history of broken relationships. They have a history of not like the normal amount of broken. I'm talking about every relationship, every employer, every friendship burned to the ground. When she was 17, she went to the NAACP, and she successfully sued her school district and got a bunch of press because she said a bunch of white boys had called and left racist messages on her answering machine, or were bullying her or something. They settled for $37,000, and she got her picture in the paper and all this stuff standing there with the NAACP. Now, a lot of people are digging that up again now and saying, did this really even happen? Was this Jussie Smollett like 1.0? And so first of all, she used the NAACP to sue for racism and made her school district pay $37,000. Then immediately after that, she went to college, to journalism school. She dropped out after 3 years, and she started working for a private equity firm. Well, by the way, somebody just found an arrest record too for harassment that got expunged from her record around the same time. So now people are looking in this to see, like, what are the patterns, right? The arrest was supposedly when she was still in high school. So she goes to college for 3 years, drops out, starts working for a private equity firm. If you look at H.G. Tudor's, he did this whole series on is she a narcissist or not? And he went and found a lot of this stuff from her background. He's like, she ended up with some kind of settlement with that firm too, according to him, where she alleged discrimination in the workplace and sexism and racism in the workplace with them as well. Then she was renting this apartment. This is all in the record. You can find these documents. She refused to pay rent. She hadn't paid rent in months, this expensive apartment in New York. And she ended up telling them she wasn't going to pay rent because there was mold or something. That's where that picture is that people were posting of her where her face looks all busted and she's wearing like a gangster do-rag. And she sent that photo in as evidence that she was experiencing allergies because of mold and she wasn't going to pay the rent. And, just this history of lawfare and making allegations against people, always like sort of like the professional victim playing that they do. There's others I'm leaving out. People should go watch the H.G. Tudor series. I thought he did a great job covering the background. But you see this. Oh, and now there's people who worked for her under Blexit coming out. I don't know if you saw it, but there's a video of an employee of hers from Blexit who's like, the truth about working for her is that it was terrible. Like she ran it into the ground. We were over $1 million in the red every year. And she was paying herself. It was some ridiculous figure. Like most of that was her salary, and claiming that she was working 60 hours a week on Blexit when she was actually doing a full-time show for Daily Wire. And so that's why Turning Point USA ended up taking over Blexit because she couldn't manage it. And was flying on private jets and spending all this money. It was basically just a cover to. It's like the BLM lady who was using BLM money just to fund a lavish lifestyle.
Oh yeah,
that's what her employees alleging. So all these people are starting to come out, which I'm glad to see. People who are probably afraid. Whenever
the other Blexit person was Tatum, right? Brandon Tatum.
Yes.
It'd be nice if he'd come out. I mean, he has said things about what she's been saying, but if this deep dive is happening, he would be one who would be able to also say something about that.
Right. I think you'll see more of that now because I do think the tide is starting to turn slightly. And just like if you look at any monster who, like people always said, Harvey Weinstein, just a great example. When the tide turned on him and everyone came forward and started talking about what a creep he was, and then it was like, well, if everybody knew and it was an open secret, why didn't they say anything before? Well, it's the same reason humans always. I think it plays it out this way every time. It's like, well, this person is powerful and I might be able to get something from them. Like maybe I'll get to be on their show, or maybe they'll do this for me, or I want to be associated with them. It's either for that, for personal gain, or they stay quiet out of fear. Well, I'm afraid this person would ruin me. I'm afraid what this person would do to me, that, I know what they're like. And so I'm not going to say anything. Right. So, but when the tide turns and public opinion starts to shift, that's when all those people come out and start saying,
the dam breaks, so to speak.
Yes. Yes. So,
yeah. Well,
thank you. Tree of Logic. Oh no, it says Treehouse News in your comment, but Tree of Logic, go watch Tree of Logic's videos about her. She put Tree of Logic's life in danger with her social autopsy site. Tree of Logic, you guys know, is a Black conservative commentator, former cop, and Candace had some beef with her, just like she had a beef with Kim Classic, and she doxed her and posted her address and all this stuff. And Tree of Logic was like, look, I have people that I put away who are trying to kill me, who are out of jail now. And you just put my life in danger. Like, take my info off your website.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't.
Go figure.
Well, Matt did do a great video this week that pretty much debunked everything that Candace has been trying to say. Because when you really do look at it, none of the conspiracy theories make any sense that she's peddling. Because we have a mountain of evidence against Tyler Robinson. It's not just little things. It's not circumstantial. There is a ton of evidence that this guy did it. Now, you could still question, well, why were there people that seemed to know about it a week before it happened?
Yes.
You know, what is the involvement of all of these people that were posting things about on the 10th, Charlie's going to get it, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But just to go through some of the evidence, this is just from the charging documents and a few other things, but he confessed 3 different times, once to his parents, once to his trans lover, and once to a whole Discord group. His parents recognized him and the gun in the video, and through the stills that the FBI released. His DNA was found on the gun's trigger and the ammo. So, I mean, the DNA evidence alone pretty much buries you in any case. Now, part of the reason some people are a little bit worried about, you know, the way Candace is doing this and a few others are doing this stuff is it going to taint a jury pool?
Yeah.
I think you've got a bigger issue already in that Charlie was so well known that all it would take is one of these idiots that really did celebrate his death to not get a conviction. So I don't know that it's really tainting the jury pool. It's going to be a question of if we can get honest jurors that will actually look at the evidence. Because the evidence says flat out, he did it. We all know he did it. And hi, Chad.
Hello. Just watching memes and other things while you guys were going off. It's fine.
Okay. You just hadn't said anything yet, so I figured I'd make sure that we could even hear you.
It's hard to relate it back to the Ottoman Empire, but it's no, I mean everything.
No, the next topic will relate to that.
Everything you're saying is correct. I mean, I may be of the personal opinion, not any factual basis. This is an opinion-based statement that Candace Owens was obsessed with Charlie Kirk because she was in love with him and he turned her down. And she was never right about it after that. Just saying.
Apparently falls in love pretty quick. 17, 18 days with the current husband before getting engaged.
Because she was rebounding off Kirk to try to be like, look, I'm fine. She was like, what's her name in Wayne's World? Look, Wayne. Look at me, Wayne. I'm happy.
Wayne.
Hi, Wayne. It's like Candace is over there and be like, look, Charlie. Look, see, Charlie, I'm perfect. Look, I'm married a dude. He's not gay.
Look at all you're missing. He's not gay.
Look at what you're missing. Falling through a skylight. Look, Charlie, look.
I think
that again was a personal opinion based on my understanding of the sequence of events leading to Candace Owens' disgraceful separation from Turning Point USA after, as Keri laid out, possibly, maybe, allegedly grifting money straight out of that into her own pocketbook, which was never obviously what Charlie was about. He was legit about building movements. And so if you want to talk about what taints a relationship more than anything on a betrayal basis, like genuinely thinking you have someone who's going to help you build an outreach to a segment of the population that could really benefit from being a free agent in the voting sense, and finding out that she's turning around and grifting of the highest order. That being said, I, again, am not making any statements based on fact. These are all just opinions and observations that are purely speculative and opinion-based.
Hey, you're just asking questions, Lil Chad.
I'm just asking questions about who's paying for Candace Owens' show. Mm-hmm. Who's financing the lawsuit against Bridget Marcone? Like, she's going to be...
I'm just asking, is her husband gay? Is there any truth to the allegations that he... Raheem, what's his name? Raheem Kassam, the guy that
formerly of Breitbart,
who works with Steve Bannon. He's on the record multiple times saying that George Farmer, Candace Owens' husband, sexually assaulted him. And Milo, before Milo suddenly switched his tune completely, is he being paid? I don't know. I've never seen somebody turn on the heel that fast. But if you go and look at his old tweets about, he was not only disparaging of Candace, now he loves her to death. What happened? But he was also validating what Raheem said and saying, yes, everyone in London knows that her husband is gay. He's getting plunged. That's the word he used. Plunged all the time.
Milo's out there now just calling everybody gay. So
yeah. If I was to make a joke about it, I would say that Milo is just someone who, whether playing for one team or the other, can't help but want to get effed by someone of a certain
Well,
persuasion.
yeah. And Milo, let's be honest, loves attention. So, I mean, for him
Yeah.
to switch sides like that, if it gets him attention, I would not be surprised if that's the
Yeah.
case.
But
And he's
you know,
been getting a lot of attention again. Tim
Yeah.
Pool, Tucker. I mean, I think he was on Tucker. Milo's been all over the place. Piers Morgan. Just all of a sudden,
I don't think he's
resurgence of
getting on
Milo.
Tim Pool's show anytime again soon. The way
No, that didn't go so well.
Why? What happened?
Oh, you are
That
you
was the same night that
I
Tim
don't know.
Pool's place got shot up.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, he basically went
addition to
on and
just
said
as-
everybody on the right is gay.
All right, here's the thing. Like we mentioned last week's show, there is one person in that group that I have heard consistently for years was up to no good. Comix remembers from the private chat, who may have been in that kind of situation. I had never in my life, prior to Milo, heard anything about Benny Johnson. So now here's the caveat to that. Have people in the conservative movement done this consistently for the last 40 years? Brahma knows, like, where they'll drape themselves in family values and religiosity and all that, and then have a wide stance in an airport bathroom.
Right.
That stuff has happened, and we've
There
gotta
are
watch
some
out for it.
mega church pastors that have done the
Yeah.
same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now here's where I'm gonna say,
Well,
This
hang
is-
on. I got a quick point of clarification for myself. So the individual you mentioned in the private chat, are you saying that he had a wide stance?
it is well rumored
Okay,
that
because
he
that
has frequently had a wide stance.
okay.
Oh,
'cause
I
That
know.
dude always struck me as being gay.
Oh, you were talking, can I just say it? Elijah Schaefer?
Oh,
I've heard those
dang it.
comments.
Keri.
What? I've heard those comments before. And by the way, he hit on a male friend of mine. And I trust
Chad
that
dancing
friend.
around it, and
So-
Carrie's right there with the info.
I can't stand that guy. I think he's full of shit. I'm at the
Yeah,
point where I don't
he's been
care
pretty
anymore.
horrible since
Like-
October 7th as well.
Please be advised that the statements made by Keri Smith are purely
Or made
her
by me.
opinion
Come
and
get
do
me.
not represent official fact-based judgments.
I'm just, I don't know what happened. I think it's with just all of this evil that we're witnessing since Charlie was assassinated, and all these people just showing how disgusting and depraved they are. And I've always tried to be, maybe I'll change my tune in a few weeks and I'll go back to, be slow to anger, slow to speak and all that. But I've always tried to be like, don't speak tales out of school and don't do that, and be respectful and be gracious. Candace she doesn't do any of that. These people are narcissists. They don't play by the rules of ordinary people. They're disgusting. And Schaefer's one of those. I can't stand that guy. And I've heard those, everybody's heard those rumors, but I also know he hit on a male friend of mine. Keri Smith said it.
Carrie Smith said it.
And then there's the Sydney Watson stuff too, which is kind of weird.
I don't trust Sydney. No,
From the time at the Blaze.
Yeah.
no.
Well, it wasn't Sydney, though. His other coworkers, Savannah, Sydney, there were several female coworkers who filed suits against him for sexual harassment.
And
she
I know
didn't file
people
a
who
suit against
personally
him.
know
She
Sydney.
filed a suit against the Blaze, which was a little different. I like to get into the legal ease. Now that's possible. That's logistically, if you're trying to reach a monetary settlement, you go after where the money is. And with Elijah effectively being an agent of the institution, you go after the Blaze because, honestly, in my opinion, Elijah Schaefer doesn't have a lot of money to be writing checks to settle lawsuits. So you're going to go after the employer.
And also, if you look at, he was one of the ones that just recently, this report came out that his website, The Rift, is a complete, who is funding him? Someone's funding him.
I think he's Qatari money.
Because none of his, if you go to his site and it's like, become a subscriber or donate, the links don't work. You can't actually give them money, but they have money and their views are abysmal for the number of followers they have. So this report, I'm trying to remember, it was some young person I saw that did this whole report on it. But
so the rumors and allegations are that Qatari money is currently funding a lot, like people like Elijah, Tucker, Candace.
gotcha.
Specifically,
Well, a lot of that anti-Israel
Tucker's
stuff would
been
make sense.
openly talking about Qatar.
Yeah, I mean, the law that makes sense.
and that would be coinciding when you see the immediate swing towards a certain view of a classic old religious group. Now, on the other hand, I have been of the and you've get people who watch the show know I have been probably in the segment that has been critical about how, from a foreign policy standpoint, a certain country can be a problem to making lasting peace agreements that are in the interest of the United States. That doesn't mean that I'm taking Qatari money. I'd be open to it if they want to reach out.
Well, we know who some of them are because they did these PR posts from over there. Who was that guy, Rob Smith, who's like the black gay conservative who just went to Qatar, and he's like posting pictures like, here in Qatar, it's like everything's great. I those kind of went that. I think that backfired.
But that's almost exactly what Tucker Carlson just did.
Yeah.
He just said, I mean, in many ways, Qatar is far better than any other portion of the planet. You should just go there. You should go there and check it out. I mean, it's great. Everybody loves Qatar. And
I don't want to be funded by a country. Can I just get like some kind of cheese brand or something? Some kind of food.
Cheese tray.
Yeah. Cheese tray. Qatar.
Kalshi.
Keri Smith's deprogram is sponsored by Cheese Tray. Get your cheese tray at your local grocery store. Sorry, I wanted to say HEB. I'm so used to saying HEB.
Yeah,
Grocery store.
They just don't exist in certain sections of the country.
Yeah.
Like, we've got none of them. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I was going to say, I don't necessarily agree on Sydney, just because I know some people who do know Sydney, including Brandon Morse, and he is still friends with her, and I trust his opinion on most people. I've met Brandon, in real life, and we've had some chats, not specifically about that, but I know Brandon's opinion of her, so I don't know. Take that for what you will. But
yeah, I mean, they're good friends.
I would counter that just from reading the lawsuit and the information and the claims that she was making beyond the Elijah stuff, she was draping herself in the same talking points regarding being I'm a woman and I'm disproportionately disadvantaged, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Which disparate impact is like the worst legal precedent ever, and it needs to go away because
it is, yes.
And that was some of the claims were based on that. It was, I mean, and then you look at how quickly and how things went south with her partnership with the Quartering, and he's no joy to sign up and partner with, allegedly. So I don't know who's really at fault. I just know once a person makes those allegations against a male and then based on the emails and everything else that came out in discovery that were made public, it didn't seem like she had voiced any concerns at the time about some of these actions that were taking place. And then after the show went south, after a certain incident, that kind of stuff suddenly became a big thing and she filed a lawsuit. I have questions. Like, I don't want to sound like Candace. I have questions about the
one person you're not going to mention is Jack Murphy. That's the incident, isn't it?
Yes. Do you want your now? Congratulations, you're going to be in the algorithm for that. And I think that would be helpful to your show. I was trying to see block a lot of those memes for you.
Well, the lesson I've learned is, all that aside, I mean, I like Sydney. I hear what you're saying, but I don't have those. I don't have a comment on it.
I kind of agree with Release the McCracken. I think she's very honest about her views, but she does have some feminist leaning views that probably leads her to, do the things or have the feminist take that Chad is not liking there.
Yeah, that's honestly not the first time I've heard that.
Sorry, I cut you off, Keri.
Oh no, I was just going to say that the one big lesson from all of this post Charlie's assassination has been, I think, that we need to be just as discerning with new media and as we are with old media. Oh, my husband made me a hot tea. Thank you.
Did he make you a sandwich too?
Hey, Anthony.
Because I'm coming down with something. It's so nice. Well, but we have to be just as discerning because look,
I agree.
we lost so much faith and so much trust in all of our institutions and the media, the government, the CDC, health
The
institutions,
FBI,
the FBI.
the
And we
IRS.
should have lost trust in it because they deserve it. They lied to us, they gaslit us, they betrayed us. And so now this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Maybe you guys have thoughts on this, but I've been thinking about the difference between trust and faith. I think those are two different things the more I think about it. I think faith is reserved for God. That's I think trust is something you can earn. It can be broken and then you can build it back up again. But I think trust is different. And instead of putting I have trust in certain new media figures, right? Like I pretty much, I would say I trust James Lindsay a lot. Not infallibly, but I trust him a lot. I trust trigonometry pretty much. I trust Samuel Say. I trust you guys a lot. But I don't have faith in you. Do you know what I mean?
I totally get that.
Chad will sell out in a heartbeat.
No, absolutely.
I mean,
I just mean
if we reach a goal of $500 today, I will immediately support Qatar in this mission.
But that means if you do something to break my trust, see, some people, they have faith in podcasters, and no matter how they behave, like the way Candace is behaving lately, it's like they treat her like a god, and they have because they put faith in her instead of trust in her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that, and it's the reason why I always tell people, do your own research. Don't trust everything I say because I am fallible. I make mistakes. I get shit wrong all the time, and that's the big thing. And I think that's with anything out there, be it the mainstream media, be it new media, whatever. It's the whole trust but verify, or just do your own research. I mean, the individual that's telling you, believe me, I know the truth, don't look into it for yourself, is the one that has something to sell, whether it's the lie, something that they'll profit off of, or, reinforcing the narrative or the cathedral or whatever, term we want to use. I mean, that was like one of the things, I don't remember the reporter's name, but he was like, I'm trying to remember if it was ABC or CBS. He's like, don't do your own research. Trust the media. And it's like, no, you should never do that.
Yeah.
You should always do your own research.
Yeah, it's like listening to Ketanji Brown on the Supreme Court and not like checking what she's saying is actually,
I don't know what
in the Constitution.
So we do have breaking news. Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead in their home.
Have they confirmed it was?
That is what TMZ has now said.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah,
I had seen.
They're not going to put that out there without verifying something.
Yeah.
Well,
even though TMZ is TMZ, but they're still a news organization.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
I have a lot of issues with Rob Reiner, but I'm very saddened to hear that
I don't ever believe anybody should be murdered for what they say.
Exactly.
I believe you can be ridiculed for what you say.
We don't know why he was murdered
challenged.
Yet, right? That's
no. I mean, honestly, given California is degenerated into a criminal state, with the releasing people and all that kind of, odds are, if you're playing just the statistical likelihood, it was probably like a home invasion, and it went south. Of
course, we know nothing except that they were stabbed.
Yeah, so that, I mean, I'm just against statistical likelihood in California is that especially there's been lots of news stories about gangs that will go after the high end homes within like the LA and Hollywood zone because they're full of high end pawnable materials that you can get good money from. It's just, I don't know.
The man made a lot of movies that are some of my favorites, but he was also so Trump deranged. It was crazy. It made me not like him, but you don't want anybody killed for anything.
Yeah.
That's
No.
exactly what we're talking
Sad.
about with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. It's very
Now,
unfortunate.
how can I blame the Jews? I'm kidding, but I'm serious. That's what Candace Owens would be doing now.
Israel?
Yeah,
Well,
how
I
can I
mean, there
blame
was an
Israel?
Egyptian plane at the tarmac in
Right.
LAX,
Yeah.
unregistered.
I'm looking at this news right now. This is awful. Yeah, it says they were both stabbed.
Both stabbed. So,
I mean,
I think the initial
terrible.
report was it may have been a murder-suicide, but if it's stabbing, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah. Gojira says comics, so we're not leftists. We can disagree with people without dancing on their graves. Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly it.
I mean, that
Yep.
situation, by the way, reminds me of why Josh Shapiro is never going to really be able to run for president, because then people would start looking critically about how he totally covered up a murder when he was district attorney. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that story about the woman who was stabbed 38 times and they ruled it a suicide.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
That
It's
was
crazy.
That sounds like a
it's
Clinton
in
thing.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
like the craziest thing. And like the fiance
It was
is
her
like,
fiance.
oh no, my wife stabbed her. No, my fiance stabbed herself. Why are you? This is in the 911 call.
Yes.
This sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Well, first he said she fell on a knife.
It's
And-
she fell on
47
it.
times.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
and then the cops who responded on the scene were like, oh well, guess it's suicide. How about you guys come in here and take her computer and everything else home so you can have that. Oh, by the way, we're going to send a professional crime scene cleaning team in for you to clean up the scene so that there's no more evidence left. It's like it is crazy. It is batshit crazy. But and if you start pulling any threads, like any normal person is like, this doesn't sound right at all.
Well, from the very beginning, that doesn't sound right. That's like somebody rolling over on a sharpened T-bone steak bone 37 times and bleeding out from it.
Her parents.
MadEPAP
That's a
lore into
reference
this
to
show.
Mad.
Her parents have been trying to get justice forever. I first saw that on a true crime channel about just how crazy it was. And why was it? Is it because
Do you like true crime, Keri?
I do. I watch a lot of it. That's pretty much all I watch.
Who watches
Your
true crime?
husband should be
My
conscious.
wife, your wife, everybody's wife. That's the true crime.
Women
audience.
really like murder.
They love true crime. My
Well-
wife goes crazy
The
for true
joke
crime.
is that secretly the women are planning their husband's murder.
The
trying to
women
find a
are
way to
trying
live.
to figure out evil, I think, and also trying to experience the adrenaline and the emotions that you experience during something traumatic, but in a safe, contained environment where you know that the bad guy will be at the end of the episode usually arrested and held accountable. It's like a safe sort of roller coaster, and it ends with you safely at the end. I think that's what it is. Why women
But it's
watch it.
also also how you get a whole bunch of women that'll just follow a Candace Owens.
Yeah, but those people give. Let me just say, there's a lot of things I'm angry about with the whole Candace cult thing. One of them is that they're giving women who like true crime a bad name. Like, you're not one of us. You're too stupid. There's no way. There's no way you watch true crime that often and you can't look at the available evidence and know that, look, his DNA is on everything. He confessed 3 times. His parents turned him in. They recognized the gun. Like, you're gonna act this stupid. Like any other
But-
case would.
But
be
I
enough.
think
Yeah.
here's what I think is going on, though. I think her trying to do the rebuttal against How to Make Her Murderer, which everybody watched on Netflix, not just the normal true crime people, but everybody kind of watched that. And then she made that rebuttal series on the Daily Wire. So I think she was trying to figure out how that she can start doing the conspiracy theories like the true crime stuff to get people to watch her on her own channel.
And she, the thing is, it's so egregious to pick this to do it on someone that you pretend to be friends with. I can't wait for, if she's forced into a corner, think about all the texts and all the private information that Erica Kirk has that she has not released because she has class and grace. But what Charlie really thought about Candace, she's convinced her cults that they were the best of friends and she's the only friend that Charlie had. And she keeps releasing all these private text messages, some of them really just gross, in a gross way, to try and demean Erica. And I don't know if you saw, but she released some. She's like, I'll always remember when he sent me this text about some girl he was dating at the time who he was in love with. And she just says it just to try and twist a knife in, like he was in.
Nice. Sounds like she's just trying to be a
Yeah,
bitch.
just trying to
Yeah,
be a bitch.
she
But
is.
look, all of those text messages are 8 years old. She doesn't have any text messages like that are not 8 years old, because everyone observably can see, even if you didn't know them, weren't close to them, you can see from his social media and his public appearances and his podcast, he put her at arm's length 8 years ago. She had to step down from TPUSA. She wasn't invited to his wedding. Okay. I'm going
Right.
to say, okay.
This was not a
She was.
particularly. This
Like-
was. We all remember when she left. I mean, it was not exactly clean and,
No.
I had no
nice.
idea she was involved with TPUSA.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
back in the day.
But she was
That's-
forced to step down, like she was from PragerU, like she's been from every place she's ever been at. Daily
Yeah.
Wire.
Wow,
Daily
big
Wire.
surprise.
Yep.
I was just aware of the Daily Wire one. I didn't realize that she was involved with Turning Point or Prager.
Prager. Every place
And
she's
she
been
was a
at,
founder of Blexit.
and had to give it over to TPUSA because she was running it into the ground. So every like I said, with these people, there's a pattern of broken relationships, forced to step down, suing employers for quote unquote discrimination, like just over and over again. And this friendship with him, I think it's so gross. I know we got back into it again somehow, but the fact that she, like you said, true crime, that's what you said, building up this,
Yeah.
how can I do this sort
True
of
crime and
alien-
wine moms.
Yeah, wine moms, let me crack into this somehow. And to be so just like not empathetic, not enough of a human, that nothing is sacred, and you will exploit his murder and crap all over everyone he loved and his organization. And you don't care if you destroy all these innocent people, and you destroy TPUSA, and you destroy the right in your quest for fame and money and power and control. Like you're willing to destroy everything. She said to her cult, I'll say one other quick thing about her cult. She said to them, she always repeats things like cult leaders do many times. And so she said many times now in the past few episodes, we don't care about the midterms.
We don't care about the midterms. Yeah.
We don't care. Yeah. And she doesn't say, I don't care
That
about
was
the midterms.
Directly at Tim Pool.
She says, we don't care. She gives them their opinions. She uses the we all the time. We think this. We this. That's how cult leaders talk.
Right. It's not me and my millions of followers. It's we're all of one mind on this.
Mm-hmm. And she's always
bef-
talking about the public. I speak for the public.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't speak for us.
Yeah.
Before we get too far away from it, I do want to get to Copy's very generous $20 super chat. Prayers to the Reiner family. We don't have to like his politics to recognize his brilliance.
Indeed.
The Princess Bride is one of the greatest movies.
Oh, so
I didn't realize
good.
that. Yeah, I love that movie. I didn't realize that was him that did that.
Me
One of
either.
the greatest movies ever
Yeah.
made.
Definitely one of my top 5 movies.
A couple weekends ago, we watched When Harry Met Sally because my husband had never seen it. That was Rob Reiner. Have
Yeah,
you guys seen
like-
it?
Yeah. Well, everybody's seen at least the scene.
Carrie will have what she's having.
Right.
He had seen that scene. Yeah.
It's impossible not to have seen that scene, I think.
What else did he do?
Rob Reiner?
Yeah.
Chad
this is
would know
Spinal
better
Tap.
than I do. Spinal Tap is
It's
Rob
fine.
Yeah,
Reiner.
Spinal
Did
Tap's
Spinal
probably his most
Tap.
famous
That was
one.
his like first one. I mean, obviously he started as an actor with what is it? All in the
Meathead or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Meathead.
that's what Carol Connor called him.
Right. All in the
So,
Family.
All in the Family. He moved into directing from there. Spinal Tap was like his first big
Misery.
break.
He did Misery.
Misery? Really? Wow.
Yeah, he
I know he's
moved
done a lot of things. I
around
didn't realize that he's done a
within
lot of
like
things.
genres. He's actually not a bad director at all.
He's a great
No, he's
director.
not. He's a very good director.
And that is in a lot of ways that's what you deal with, which is sometimes with creatives, they you may enjoy their stuff and not enjoy what they say. What is it? Separating the art from the artist is the old phrase.
Yeah.
Whether you
Which has
wanna do that
become
around-
more difficult in recent years, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still separate some of the older stuff.
Yeah, so that means that realistically, I think Spinal Tap 2, which just came out in September, will probably
Was
be
probably his
his
last movie.
final film.
Mhm.
I doubt there's anything else. Now, one of the movies I really loved that's actually very underrated came out in the late 90s called The Story of Us with Bruce Willis and Michelle Pfeiffer, where they're doing basically the story of a husband and wife relationship throughout from when they first meet all the way through the down times, up times, struggling, because it does a lot where it shows more than just a happy couple or an unhappy couple. It's showing like the actual mosaic of a relationship from where there's ups, downs.
The good and
It
the
All
ugly.
of it.
it also got into the
Good, the bad, the
concept that
ugly.
was very interesting, I think, from the perspective of a married couple, which was the idea of emotional cheating versus physically cheating.
Hmm.
Like there's a segment in the movie where Bruce Willis and Michelle Pfeiffer as the married couple are kind of separating from each other emotionally, and Bruce Willis starts confiding and talking to a female friend in the workplace and starts like sharing a lot about his relationship and things, and when the wife finds out about it, she's like effectively like, you were cheating emotionally. And I think that's a concept that especially males need to be more aware of from the perspective of a wife,
And
because
women too.
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true, but I just like it's kind of a territory where as a male, if you open up and share those things with a female person, friend, coworker, whatever, that you're kind of effectively taking what is supposed to be one of the key components of a marriage, where this is your wife is supposed to be the emotional crutch for you, where you share those things. So I mean, anyway, it was done very interesting. A Few Good Men obviously was classic that he did. It's, you think Princess
Stand by
Bride.
Me.
Yeah.
Stand by Me.
Yeah.
Ghost of Mississippi.
Yep. Um, Obviously, he did The American President, which was I always refer to that one as basically the pilot for The West Wing, because it was written by Aaron Sorkin. And when The American President was fairly successful, Aaron Sorkin parlayed that into doing The West Wing on television. So if this movie kind of gets a little forgotten, I don't know if anybody else here even remembers it, was Michael Douglas playing the widower president who starts dating Annette Bening while he's in office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
J.
No,
Fox
no,
played.
I
Michael
remember.
J. Fox was effectively playing the what's his name from ABC. Why am I blanking this week? George Stephanopoulos. He was
No.
playing the speechwriter. They make this. Aaron Sorkin, of course, made the speechwriter one of the primary characters, both in the American President and then in the West Wing, because he's a writer. So that's who he's going to think is the most important person in the West Wing. Not
Holy
true, by the
shit! He
way.
directed Sure Thing.
But sure thing.
Um, uh,
With
oh
John
God,
Cusack, right?
John Cusack. Yeah,
Yep. With John Cusack, Daphne Zuniga was
yeah.
in that one too. Yeah, he's
I didn't see that one.
yeah,
No,
he's got a
it's a good
very.
movie. It's
I
a very
mean,
good movie.
North is another one that I enjoy that is kind of slept on a little bit. That was with
With
Elijah Wood as a
Elijah.
kid actor, and where he's
Yeah.
looking for his parents. Yeah, so he's gonna again. I'm gonna completely separate what he said. Nobody should be going through. I mean, a horrific crime. Now,
And
if
we
this
should
is
all, if you see anybody on the right dancing on his grave like they
Yeah,
did with
fucking call it
Charlie,
out.
call them out
Yeah.
because nobody deserves this
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
ever.
I listen to a lot of I do audiobooks and things like that, and I like to I do there's a book series called North and South made into a famous miniseries.
Civil
And
War. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, Civil
and
War.
book one of the North and South trilogy deals with leading up to the Civil War. So it's starts really about in the 1830s, 40s, leading up to the Civil War is where you get. But it does a really excellent job of slowly showing the dehumanization on both sides like how Northerners started viewing Southerners, how Southerners started viewing Northerners, how when the peaceful political process became separated out, it goes, you get a feel for the gradual movement towards how you could have a civil war. Now, taking aside the moral injustice of slavery and why that was right to fight to end, you're getting into the fact of just from a political standpoint, what moves a group to feel like violence is their solution to their problems, if you're looking from political science. And this is like what we see with Charlie. Like, you've got a group on one side who are anarchists and the anti-fascists and the communists. They have always used political violence to move towards their gains. And partially, I'm going to argue that at least since the uprise of Bolsheviks and communism in the 20th century, one of the reasons they could use political violence is they were given coverage by the media. Like, the media never report, mainstream media, even going back to the Soviet Revolution in the 19 teens, was sympathetic to their movements. And so they never covered it as violence, as extremism, as using violence to achieve aims. Like, so they get that coverage, they get the protection. So they use political violence as a weapon. On the right, when anything happens with somebody who might be aligned to the right wing, they are going to, put that out there and push the narrative that it's, what was it, like the recently shelved program on Apple Plus, the Apple TV Plus.
The Savant,
which has now been nuked off the planet.
No, it's not coming out at all now, is
it? I think was it Jessica Chastain even had it removed from her IMDb credits. They're like shelving it. They're like, I don't think it'll ever see the light of day.
God, I want to see it so bad now. I want to see how bad it actually is.
I mean, eventually it'll probably leak somewhere, because there were screeners sent out. There were already critics who had seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Because we forget, it was really close to premiering, right? I think
it was.
Its premiere was set to be like a week after the Kirk incident. Are you muted, Brahma, or am I not hearing you?
Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
We can't hear you.
Yeah.
So, you look super snazzy, though.
Yeah. He's sometimes Evie Mux does.
Uh-oh. We're taking over, folks.
No. What are we going to talk? What lady topics are we going to talk about?
All right. Okay. Well, just to circle back to it, which is when you're dealing with a situation where you're dehumanizing people, like with the Rob Reiner thing, you've got to call it out to stop it, because it's easy. It's within, I mean, we are imperfect creatures. It's within the human nature, within our nature, to want to give in to the easy path of dehumanizing villains. Yeah. The better path, obviously, as you get from the Christian perspective, and it's the harder path, is to not do that, is to try to like be, like forgiving and be like, see the humanity in people who may not see it in you. I would say Rob Reiner, given that he said some of the most offensive, like political things, like right up there with, Rosie O'Donnell and some of the other really worst offenders.
Cusack.
Yeah, Cusack. Mm-hmm. I would never want that to actually happen. I don't want anybody to face that, just like I don't want anybody on the right. Like, when I would wish they would actually speak up and have condemned what happened to the Republicans when a crazed leftist shot them on a baseball field. And not one of them ever said that.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Scalise is going to deal with that stuff the rest of his life. He barely survived. You can see the difference. If you look at pictures of him before and after, you can see like this is a man who's permanently impaired compared to where he was as a result of his injuries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I think, yes, we call out anybody you see doing it. Just take a second.
You guys did hear that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard me say that. Take a second,
and say, "This, that's not cool, man. Not cool, bro."
No, not.
Well, and unfortunately, I don't see as much of that on the right. I do see some of it, more than I would like to see, but I don't see as much of it. I think the right is still overall more human. It sounds awful, but really in touch with their humanity. Like the right is still more has a foundation in something, and is also, as we see with all this drama, this stuff that gets called drama that we were talking about at the beginning. I think the right is at least mounting a defense against psychopaths and extremists and people who are up to no good. I think they're mounting a defense against that, and the left never did that. They made all those crazy people famous. They don't have any. They seemingly lose their humanity when someone on the right is attacked or killed or
Yeah,
dies.
we're calling out our crazies, and they're promoting Jennifer Welch.
Yeah.
Saying this is going to be the new Joe Rogan from the left, and it's like she has been one of the worst offenders of dancing on the graves of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then basically saying that Democrats, if you don't fall in line, will Charlie Kirk you.
Again, because from a leftist perspective, there is no negative to saying those things or even acting on those things.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no political movement
Because
on
if
the
it
left.
gets enacted, problem
Yeah.
solved.
The only time that we effectively fought back against it was in the 60s when we deep integrated and were taking people out. And the Weather Underground, by the way, still the only group that successfully bombed the Capitol, a leftist group who actually killed people in the Capitol as a result of their bombing, and they are celebrated. This is where Obama got his start, was in the Bernadine Dorn and Bill Ayers
The living room. That's where he launched the campaign.
So, and I think the child of one of the Weather Underground bombers is now a DA. It's one of the Soros DAs.
One of the Soros DAs in California.
Yeah,
one of the worst ones.
Yep. So they learned their lesson. They get away with it. So now the response isn't to try to speed run our way into Civil War Part 2. Don't be a boogaloo boy. Try to retain your humanity. But it's getting harder. And I've said it before, like the way they, Trump is like a Caesar analog, and they're going to end up pushing their way into having to deal with an Augustus, which is the much more effective, capable version of Caesar if they keep pushing this, because honestly, the most effective form of government in any political system is the benevolent dictatorship. Nobody has ever found a better, more efficient form of government. The problem is benevolent dictatorships don't last usually. It'll last one generation, right? Like you get an Augustus who does things nicely, and
it goes downhill from there.
And then as soon as it inherits, it's done. It's like a business
But
thing,
do
right?
you know the Solzhenitsyn quote though about the benevolent dictator? But he's like, I would much rather prefer a robber baron who just takes, honestly, to a benevolent dictator who imposes tyranny for your own good.
Well, I didn't say it was better for people. I said
Okay.
it's the most efficient form of government.
One person making a decision.
Where one person can make a decision. Like, Mussolini, what's the old joke saying? At least the trains ran on time, right? Like, he made sure that when he was like, I'll make sure that the trains in Rome arrive on time. And for the average person, they're like, yeah, that would help my everyday life.
That's fantastic. What you don't know is that they're shooting the conductors that don't get there on time. Engineers, sorry, not conducting.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's what summed up. Lucas kind of summed up that when he had the discussion between Padme and Anakin, where like there should be just one man who just makes all the decisions. She's like, that's a dictatorship. Yeah, so it would be more efficient.
This is how democracy dies.
Yeah,
with thunderous applause.
I mean, I actually thought that was a really well written line.
That was actually the best line out of the prequel trilogy.
And Lucas and people tried to make fun of that one, and I was like, no, that's not the one to go after. The one to go after is like Wizard or something, or whatever. But it's crazy. Don't
Wizard
be that
Anakin.
Way. Don't be that way. Don't be that way. Be generous in your interactions with people when somebody's going through something with like violence. don't try to like. That's how like I remember this goes back to a discussion I had with somebody after Turning Point. I think it was maybe with Brahma. We did this discussion like after Turning Point kicked out some of the people from their event, the adult entertainers. I was like,
Right.
yeah, it's like
Brandy
I
Love,
get it.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I get why you want to do that, but the better way to approach that person is to allow them to be there as guests, not like necessarily a speaker, but
Mhm.
let them see, like, let
I'm
them
adding
see,
you. Shut up.
let them see like you living your values. Say, look, I appreciate you voting in an aligned way with me. I don't acknowledge that your lifestyle choices are good. I don't support you being an adult entertainer because I think that's bad. Look at how much healthier and happier marriages and families can be with all this other stuff. Will I throw you out of like this event? No. I'm not going to keep you from being someone who can attend, but I'm also not going to pretend I not just tolerate but support these choices. As long as we can be on the same page there, that you understand I vehemently disagree with, like, I think a good example, the Trump administration came out with some rules against debanking, if you guys know that problem,
Yeah.
right? But one of the things they said in their rules was you can't remove banks based on like political affiliation, this, that, the other. And they also included adult entertainment and all these other things. Basically, if it's a legal, permissible business, you can't just turn off people's access to
That's good.
banking
That's
and
good.
credit card transactions. And now some of the more conservative religious right wing elements are going after the Trump administration. Like, now you support porn. That's not what it is. Like, you if you allow the government to start picking and choosing, it's gonna get abused later.
Yeah, it's
again.
gonna eventually it'll turn back onto you.
I honestly don't know why there are a certain section of people that just still do not understand that. They still think, no, it's okay when we do it. Like, what? No, that's been the issue though.
Right. Well, one of our other topics tonight was actually, J.B. Pritzker just signed into law a euthanasia bill allowing euthanasia in Illinois. And
Really?
part of the reason we have been against euthanasia traditionally is because of the slippery slope.
Yep.
When you allow somebody to be killed because they want to, and you're having the government weigh in on that, then at some point it gets to the government can pick who gets killed.
Yeah, in a sense, and it just then I think the problem with it though is they start. Oh, you're sad today? Have you thought about euthanasia?
Have you thought about maid service?
Right, everything that's going on in MADE. Well, and in connection to that, the other story that I had pulled up for that, and I've got a video, but we don't have to play it. The UK, they're now arguing about whether pregnancy should be a reason to not allow euthanasia. If the person is pregnant, they can still have euthanasia, right? You just have to kill the baby first before you kill the.
I mean, it's a reasonable
parent.
offshoot from being pro-abortion, right? If you view like a pregnancy as nothing more than, as we've seen in, I mean, I think it was even in one of the Kirk famous like bits that has spread since his passing, where someone was like, you view it as a parasite who like doesn't exist as life. That's not a conducive to valuing and wanting to do it. I mean, logically, it's entirely coherent to say that pregnancy should not be any detriment to
Shouldn't be a
euthanasia,
bar to somebody being able to.
Yeah, if you have
off
that in your
themselves.
head, why wouldn't you do that?
But that's where they are in this discussion. We're still arguing euthanasia bad. They're now arguing, well, if somebody's pregnant, they should still be able to off themselves. Canada will be there soon. I mean, the way Canada is going, that Canada will be there. They probably are, but I haven't heard any specific arguments on that. I have heard it out of the UK yesterday.
Yeah,
that was being argued in their parliament.
Gojira also makes comment of Canada told a woman just a few weeks ago that they could couldn't send her to another province to get a specialized surgery she needed, but they could offer her MAID, which is absolutely fucking disgusting. That is,
Well, I mean, at least they're offering an alternative.
Well, it's like that. There was a veteran. There was a female veteran, and she was supposed to get like a motorized scooter. And they're like, she wrote them saying, "Hey, what's taking so long?" It's like, well, have you thought about MAID? And it's like, seriously, all she wants is a fucking scooter, and you're telling her to go off herself? Great job, guys.
And that should just take a vacation to Disney World.
Medical care you have there.
That's just one example of veterans, because there was another where a guy just needed his house to be, reconfigured for handicap access a little bit. And they were like, well, you could kill yourself.
I mean, in their defense, did he try learning how to walk again?
Did you try not having skin grafts?
Wow. I did.
The Army would like to inquire if you considered pulling the fire fire suppression system.
I was on fire.
Well, then wouldn't it have made sense to do that?
No, because not doing this tonight.
It's on fire.
It's been a rough one tonight.
Or watching
JJ. I will refer all of you to the Twitter DM group, because I gave him 5.5 minutes to make a miracle.
Okay, so a miracle is needed.
I do not get any notices when these messages come in.
Yeah, the new Twitter stuff.
It's all fucked up.
Now I set my password and I can't use it. It's like I have no idea what's going on.
You don't know what your pin is for the DMs?
No, I know my pin. There's only 2 pins I typically use, and it's not either
that's
one
perfectly safe.
I know.
Yeah, I do the same thing, bro. I got 2 passwords. One is
this world's waiting, man.
Hey, Keri, I know you had limited time, and we kind of did the Candace topic, so you just let me know when you need to go.
She's away at the moment.
Is she away?
Yeah, her mic's muted.
I take back my hello.
So let's go into one of the smaller quick hit topics real quick. Well, maybe quick hit. Republican senators in Indiana have refused to vote yes on redistricting the state.
Wait, and what?
I blame Mike Pence because he's a dick.
So do I. I believe this is all due to them being pissed off about Pence towards the end of the first Trump presidency, and that Pence is never going to be the president. But they're refusing to redistrict. Rand Paul is out there going, no, we shouldn't be redistricting. That causes violence.
What?
Yeah, he's saying if we're not offering representation the way we should, then that could be a cause of violence.
I mean, to be fair, he's kind of right, but I mean, the left has been doing this for ages.
From which side would that violence come?
Yeah, I mean, I understand his point. I legitimately do. The problem is we don't live in that world.
So we just don't exercise power because it might piss them off.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if
Doesn't work
Rand
for
was
me.
like unhappy about New England having no representation for the 40%.
Or 40% in California.
Or California.
Yeah.
And he'll say like, oh, well, it's not good when it happens there. But then
he's correct, but you don't live in the fucking real world, dude.
Yeah. And this is one of the themes I have been hitting since we started this show. You have to understand the practical real world that you live in, not necessarily the principles version of the world that you'd like to live in. Yeah. And this is generally where the libertarian stuff starts skewing, aside from the fact that if you ever watch a libertarian political convention, it always ends up boiling down to why can we
always
minors
to drugs.
And drugs. And like those are the two things that are absolutely
what was the first one?
Effing minors.
Oh. Yeah.
Which is another thing. Brahma knows what I'm talking about. They degenerate into we should legalize all drugs. And here's why it's okay for me to be involved with a minor, and that's like a libertarian political point. As Keri knows from being stalked by one of the craziest people that's aligned with a libertarian political party.
I don't know I missed what we were talking about, but my stalker is now fascist. She's another one of these people that jumps from group to group.
Oh, I didn't realize that she considers herself to be a libertarian. So
that was back when. Now it's fascist.
Now she's a fascist.
A self-declared.
Lovely.
Does she know
I think she might be self-declared fascist, but in my opinion, she is 100% batshit psycho crazy hose.
Yes.
Who are we talking about?
It doesn't. No.
No.
Okay.
No, nobody.
I honestly don't remember her name anymore.
She's like a Voldemort, man. No one is better off hearing her name.
Yeah.
No. What did I miss? What topics?
Well, you
the
missed
only
my
thing we
hello.
hit on.
Hi, Mad.
Hello.
Rand Paul
Sorry.
wanting to supporting the Indiana Republicans not redistricting because he's, how do I put this, a little bitch and doesn't want to actually wield political power.
He
Can I
said it would
ask
cause
you-
violence if we redistrict.
It's stupid. Can I ask you guys, what do you think about the midterms? Like, I saw Megyn Kelly. I was mentioning at the beginning of the show. You know, I took issue with her calling it a feud between Candace Owens and Erica, but
Right.
in that the context of what she was asking is this going to have an impact on midterms? You know, Candace keeps saying to her cult, we don't care about midterms, etc. Do you see any of this having a real world political impact?
I think if you ask the average man on the street who Candace Owens is, they'll say who.
Right.
I also think the thing that could impact it is the loss of Charlie Kirk. Because Turning Point was such a big portion of this. I don't think any of this BS that's going on online really has any effect. But I think the loss of Charlie Kirk does.
I think the greatest thing, like as far as like actual issues out there, is going to be the economy. That's the thing right there.
Right.
If the economy doesn't improve, and it's the reason why I think a lot of people voted for Trump to begin with, is because Biden did a shit job with the economy. If he doesn't, do what he can to try and right the ship, so to speak, and I don't think things have gotten better. They may have gotten a little worse at this point. People might
gas prices
vote.
would disagree.
Well, yeah, gas prices have been down, but there's other things that have been.
Grocery prices have been
Yeah, grocery
down.
prices are insane. I mean, I fucking went to Taco Bell.
But they're going down.
Okay, all right. This is the thing. Taco Bell used to be cheap. Okay, I got Taco Bell tonight when I was driving back from the ranch.
About $15 per person.
$18, guys.
What?
$18. All I got was the Taco Supreme combo and a Burrito Supreme. $18. That is
It's expensive
absolutely
as shit.
insane. Okay. And
But
like
Taco
you said,
Bell though, it's pretty good though, right?
I mean,
Not as good as
Sure, I
Taco
guess.
Bueno.
no, Taco Bueno is the best, man. But literally, I mean, if they can't do anything to improve the economy, that's, I think, could be the biggest motivator right there.
It's difficult though because people are wanting prices to go back the way that it was, but that's not possible
That's
without
deflation.
without deflation. So even though right now inflation is it's not being reversed, obviously, but it's slowing down and staying
Well,
a little
it's
bit
not
more
10 to 12%. It's 2%.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Things do
like-
reverse a little bit, like gas prices have reversed.
Mhm.
Egg
But the other
prices,
thing
food
you've got to
prices.
remember
prices
in
did
all of
reverse.
this is now Taco Bell is paying like $20 an hour to people to work there. So
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
too.
it's not just the inflation and food costs. It is the idiots who keep voting for these, the minimum wage to go up in all these states, to where you've got jobs that should be for a 15, 16-year-old that they're demanding a living wage for.
I know.
That has an effect on the cost to run that business.
So I'm going to be honest. My ordering experience at McDonald's has been so much better with kiosks than it ever was.
I use my phone to order all fast food.
I only have
will
breakfast
not talk
there.
to a person.
They can't mess up breakfast,
They can and they have. In my
Well, what are you
experience.
ordering? Dude, just get the bacon, egg, and cheese
Because
biscuit.
my wife does not eat bacon. So
Oh, she's Muslim.
no,
I don't
she
eat bacon
doesn't-
either.
She doesn't.
What?
She'll eat turkey
What's wrong
bacon.
with you,
she'll
Carrie
eat
doesn't
turkey
like
sausage.
bacon. She's weird.
I
Yeah,
hate
for-
bacon.
Have you ever had it?
Carrie,
Yeah.
you
I
can
already
come
played
over
it.
to my house because breakfast with my wife and you would work out perfectly.
I agree with Mrs. Chad.
I got to be honest. I've never heard a more Canadian thing ever said. But you, Keri, I'm starting to wonder.
I can't. I don't know. I can't account for it. I was raised in South Carolina. My parents tried to make me eat bacon. They thought it was healthy, and it's like, you better eat it or you can't get up from the table. But no, I've never it's just something, I can't even smell it without feeling nauseated.
Wow.
What? Oh, all right. I'm going to be open. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be honest and tell my truth. For a long time, I'm better now. I had a phobia of ketchup. I couldn't smell it. I couldn't be around it at all.
That's weird.
I hated it. I made the mistake of telling some guys when I was at Fort Hood about this, and I was tortured. On you? Bro, they put it on my doorknob to my barracks room, so I couldn't get out.
I would totally do the same thing.
Oh, all right. But
I've gotten better though. I can have a package. You know what I mean? I can hand a girlfriend a package, but she knows she's gonna get kissed for a week.
Who is literally allergic to chocolate?
What?
Yeah. No. It's not the fact that she didn't like chocolate; she was actually allergic. Yeah.
So is it the kind of thing where, of course, you would eat it in front of her and enjoy it?
No, I mean
that's obviously the right answer.
No, but her roommate would bake a chocolate souffle this one time.
That's like doing the hardest thing possible to get some. I'm gonna make a souffle.
That was
chocolate souffle.
It was intentional. She did not.
And she couldn't have any. Do you guys know Mystery Chris, my pop culture co-host? Yes. He does not like chocolate. He hates it, except for white chocolate. He says that he's a white chocolate supremacist.
White chocolate is not actually chocolate.
It's not actually chocolate.
No,
he loves white chocolate.
That is so weird.
But he won't eat any regular chocolate.
About the only chocolate I like is regular Dove milk chocolate.
What about the Lindor?
Lindor is pretty fucking amazing.
Not a fan. Just
Lindsay.
Dove. That's the only one I go for.
Did you see what Lindsay admitted in the chat? Hot take. I don't like Chick-fil-A. Wow.
Everybody's coming clean.
That's crazy talk.
That's
lemonade. Okay. Chick-fil-A's lemonade is fucking amazing. I hate their waffle fries. Their sandwiches are okay, but oh my God. Anytime someone goes there, I'm like, give me a lemonade.
I actually had because San Antonio is one of the only places where they're demoing the new chicken and waffle breakfast sandwich that they have. It's not bad. The girlfriend, she hated it, but I liked it. It wasn't bad.
Mad, since you were watching the game, I'm sure you didn't hear the breaking news that Rob Reiner and his wife were found murdered in their house.
Yeah, they had wounds that were consistent with knife wounds.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's bad.
I still can't fucking believe it. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. The Dead Man for $1.99. Ron Paul over Thomas Massey over Rand Paul. Dr. No for the win.
What was the? Oh, rents also just to circle back to what.
Oh, I saw that too.
Rents have been going down.
Oh, were you highlighting it?
What? They're saying his son? Holy shit!
That's what Goj is saying. Or that's what Goj is saying. They're saying.
Yeah.
That's even crazier.
That is even crazier.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking it was a random robbery just because they're the kind of people that would have such extreme security. There'd be I couldn't see anybody getting close.
Living in LA, you have to.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The only other small type story I had, Chad, I think you'll find this interesting. Mm-hmm. So a massive deposit of rare earth minerals has been found in Utah, which will help wean us off of,
can I ask a question?
Necessity of China.
Did they find the gold plates?
Well, I mean, that's the part of Re, isn't it? I mean, come on.
Those are lost forever.
He had to rewrite
up
one.
to 16
I expected
different
Keri
types.
to laugh at that one.
I didn't get it. I was just
Mormons.
waiting for somebody to explain it.
So Joseph Smith once was told by God or an angel, I forgot which one, that there was plates hidden by a tree, buried.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that went over my head.
And that's how we got the Book of Mormon.
Got you.
Because he went and found the plates. Yeah. And he got from those plates because it was written in a secret language only he could translate.
Right. If he put it in a hat,
He kept losing them though.
But they were destroyed, Kerry. When someone said, "Well, let's show us the plates," he was like, "I can't. I don't have them anymore."
it's kind of like
So
the
then
book
he got a
that
second set of plates.
like L. Ron Hubbard, his book Excalibur that would drive people crazy and kill themselves if they read it, and also he never wrote it. That book had magical powers as well.
Was it written by Sutter Kane?
No, it was written by L. Ron Hubbard.
I guess no one else has watched In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah.
That was a good joke.
I've seen it. I've seen that movie multiple times.
That was a good joke for those who are fans of Clive Barker.
Yeah.
I don't know who
But
that is.
Clive Barker did Hellraiser, In the Mouth of Madness, Lord of Illusions.
Hellraisers.
Yeah, that's
And
not
then
my-
Mouth of Madness is probably the closest we'll ever get to an actual Call of Cthulhu movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a Cthulhu inspired horror movie.
Yeah.
Sam Neill does a great performance.
He does. Oh, I gotta watch
How
that
did we
again.
go from me announcing that we found a huge deposit of rare earth minerals back to movies?
Because
In
I'm gonna
three
make
sentences.
make fun of the Mormons. I think they're a problem. I don't.
when-
They're good on an individual basis, but as a group, they end up doing bad things. They vote for people like Harry Reid. They vote for.
I
they
had a
start-
professor that referred to them as the cult that made it.
Right.
I like that one.
It's true.
You know what? I would
Mitt
say that's
Romney?
the Quakers, because we have oatmeal.
I dated I dated a chick that used to be like Mormon or whatever, and she would say some shit like dinosaurs never existed and some other, because like out of nowhere.
Really?
but-
You live in fucking
Really?
Utah where they find all of them.
Because Candace Owens said the same thing.
Okay, Mad doesn't live in Utah.
No, the Mormons in Utah, where
they're
all the
all
dinosaurs
over.
are found.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
that wasn't me talking to Matt. That was me talking
okay.
to his girlfriend. That
Yeah.
was not present.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just be random. Like that's not true. No, it is. But no, it's this because they could only read certain things, and it's whatever the Mormons would give them to read. It was a big sign of, that's not cool.
Mad
Exactly.
dated
Mad
Candace.
dated Candace. And it's all come full circle now.
What's happening with Candace? What's up? What's going
Oh,
on?
we
Oh,
just
you
forgot.
can go back,
Yeah, go
co-host
back and watch the
the
replay.
beginning of your
Make
own
sure
show.
you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe.
I already did. I didn't hit that bell though. It hasn't earned
Did
it.
you know you can super chat to ask Mad random questions about the show he didn't listen to before he joined?
Can
I'll know the
I
answers.
can I throw something in here that I meant to throw in at the beginning? Just as a point for anybody, if you find yourself arguing with candy cultists in real life, they all like to claim lately they think it's like a bad thing that Turning Point USA has raised money since Charlie was assassinated. I'm very glad they have. A lot of people donated because we care about Turning Point USA, because we care about his legacy, because everyone's afraid that what's going to happen to Turning Point now that he's, the left didn't just try, this crazy assassin didn't just try to kill Charlie, but to kill the whole movement. It's because of Charlie, what Charlie did and how important he was and how important the organization was and changing young people's minds. And so she keeps bringing it up on her show, and her cultists keep bringing it up as if it's a bad thing that they've raised money. It's like, it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing that
She's
people have
called on
donated.
everybody to
Yeah.
request refunds of their
Yeah.
donations.
And so, but when you talk to a candy cultist, they bring this up as if it's bad. It's not bad. It's great that Turning Point raised money. And then B, they all like to falsely claim that Candace Owens has not benefited from pissing on Charlie's grave for 3 months, which is not true. If you look at the numbers, her viewership increased 86% when she started this pissing on the grave content. And it's been, that's almost double the viewership since he was assassinated. Her views have almost doubled. And she's making, the last report I saw, you can look at the figures, between $1.5 to $2.5 million a month. That's just on YouTube and Instagram from doing this pissing on the grave content. So
Yep.
she's making money. She has benefited. Don't let any candy cultist lie to you.
Yeah,
It
and wasn't
cracks me
she
up that you
also
call them
being?
candy cultists? That is still hilarious.
It took me a second to get it to him. Like, can't okay. But isn't she also being promoted by YouTube? Like, she's been heavy on the trending and the
She's been all
recommendations.
over the algorithm, yes.
Here's a good example of that. we know from having friends whose channels are getting nuked left and right, their monetization getting nuked left and right, and somehow, and this is what's interesting, people like Candace Owens are always stay monetized, and the algorithm starts promoting them when we know they can sure as hell just flip a switch and make her effectively banned from the front page of anybody's YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And
yeah, they were
yet
also
she isn't.
celebrating that turning point. The Charlie Kirk show dropped from number 1, where it was for before his death and after his death. It's now dropped to like number 64 on the podcast,
which she was also gloating about in the
and
show.
she was celebrating it.
And yeah, it's oh, and one other quick thing, because I saw, hey, Southern Belle, what's up? She said fundraising during a funeral, though. It wasn't a funeral. First of all, his funeral was private with his family only. It was a memorial for the public, people who came out not just to honor Charlie, but to support Turning Point. People bought those T-shirts and photographed themselves in the Freedom shirts for a reason. We kind of forget, because Candace has been sowing this poison for 3 months now. But right after he was murdered, there were weeks and weeks of, yes, we had to listen to the most evil crap from leftists celebrating it, but from the right, you saw people, this outpouring of love and support. And I just remember that first month, like sharing videos of, guys in these New Zealand, like haka guys doing a haka for Charlie Kirk in London. And, the South Korean guys all chanting, "We are Charlie Kirk" in the streets, people buying the Freedom shirts and wearing it. It was this real sense of coming together. Like, you will not destroy him. His legacy is going to be even bigger than ever now that you've done this to him. And there was that real sense of, we're coming together, and you don't know what you've done left. Like, you have no idea what you've done. You have lit a fire under us. And so the fact that that's trying to be cast in some negative light now by Candace and her little flying monkeys, like, oh, it's so bad they were selling Freedom shirts at the memorial. Thank God they were selling Freedom shirts at the memorial. Thank you to every person who bought one of those and supported Turning Point,
Mhm.
Yep.
And that memorial was the way Charlie, Erica said, would have wanted it. He loved fireworks. He had them at every show. It was a celebration of his life and everything he's done. And they want to talk about it like it was bad. It wasn't. That was a beautiful moment. Remember what it felt like watching that memorial?
A revival.
Yeah, revival. And you heard people speak the
And it
word
wasn't
of God
just political,
on stage.
it was actual religious
Yes.
revival, Christian
Yes.
revival.
Yes.
And it's,
So
yep, it sure felt like it should have been something that we all came together around. And
Yep.
Not when there's
And
money
it's-
to be made.
Yep, pretty
it's
much.
disgusting what is happening at the moment. And it's disgusting who is rising at the moment in place of Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, between Fuentes, Milo, Candace, all of these things.
Yeah,
It's
man, Milo's on the
gross.
way back up. What the hell? Like,
He's all over the place all of a sudden.
And isn't it weird how it's kind of coordinated? Like, there's like a call or signal that goes up or something, and then everybody hosts Fuentes, and then there's like another signal that goes up, and everybody hosts Milo. It's so weird how it all happens at once, right? All these big platforms are like suddenly like, hey, let me have Fuentes on this month.
It's
And same
almost
thing,
like
yeah.
it's planned.
well, I don't mind them having people on that are like them. You know what I mean? But it depends on how they conduct the interview. If they're pushing back, if they're countering some of their claims, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than just nodding along like, oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting that you believe
the
that.
Tucker
huh?
thing was bad.
Yes.
The Piers Morgan was ineffective. I agree with Crowder calling Piers
Yeah.
Morgan out on how he conducted his interview as well.
Agreed.
Because he basically said, well, you can't just mention his dad. You can't just constantly attack the guy either. What you have to do is actually argue against what he's saying.
Right.
Right.
You can't just attack, because all of the groypers, they're just going to go on the attack back at you. They're not going to hear anything.
Right.
But if you actually listen to what he's saying and argue back and debate with him, then something might actually get through. But the attack thing didn't work, especially bringing up his dad and naming him.
Wow,
Not that it isn't something that was out there, but
what's up with his dad?
Yeah, I have no clue.
so Fuentes had shared at one point that his dad would not let them go to Applebee's and some other restaurants because it was considered black fare.
Okay.
What?
All right.
And Piers
Applebee's?
Piers Morgan brought that up and named his dad by his actual name. Fuentes had a problem with that because if you're talking to Fuentes, you're talking to him. You're not, doxing his dad's name and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Piers was trying to bring up, did growing up with somebody like that, with those ideas, is that what created what you are now?
What,
But
what
the
did
way
he
he
think was
brought
gonna
it up
say?
did not work because
But no, sorry, because there's no point to bring that up anyways. What do you think he was going to say? Yeah, actually, it is my dad's fault that I'm such a huge racist. What? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he doesn't see himself in that light. So why would he be like, oh, yeah, you're right. That's, that's
well, especially
that's why.
since he flat out admitted on, on multiple things. He's like, yeah, I am racist.
He admits he's
But-
racist. So
Oh, okay, well, maybe I was wrong about that. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But
Maybe in a
Piers was
negative
trying to
way.
get to, is this why you became this way? But the way he went about it, let Fuentes sidestep all of it, because then it became, why are you bringing up my dad?
Yeah,
Why
I
are you
don't-
naming my dad? These
I don't
kinds
see
of
a
things.
way of how it could be asked where it doesn't.
I would say, and this is where, I mean, if Fuentes and has made a point constantly of bringing up these things, like I think he's brought up his sister, he's brought up his dad, like he's
And I don't mind him bringing up that his dad was that way,
no, but he's bringing them into this discussion.
but he probably shouldn't have named him.
But Fuentes is the one who's bringing them up into this.
Sure. But he called him my dad. He didn't name him.
I
If you
don't
guys
know.
are going to, if you guys were talking about me and my wife, I would not
Right.
expect you to name my wife.
But we don't name you either, though.
Yeah, it's
In
a
the
little bit
context,
different
like-
in that context.
But in the
yes.
context, if I'm saying that, and this is, I kind of see Pierre's position. This is weird to say. If Fuentes is going out there and being like this, we didn't go to this place because my dad said it was too black. Like we didn't go to this place because it was. He's constantly putting that out there. He is the one who's making his father a target and fair game within the media establishment.
And I get why he
Fuentes
brought
should
it
be-
up, but he
Fuentes should be
was
the
able
one.
to sidestep it because of the way Piers decided to name his dad.
But he
Because
would've
then it became
sidestepped-
about that, not about what his dad had said.
I think you're giving. I think you're not giving enough credit to the fact that Fuentes would have sidestepped the question.
Yeah, that's what I
regardless of
was
how-
saying.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like Matt is saying, there's Fuentes is going to sidestep that on a Piers Morgan broadcast, no matter. And you can do it lots of different ways. He'll jujitsu his way out of it. Just
Sure.
because, like, if you asked it, just like you said, that is, are you racist or something? And Fuentes is going to slither his way into a different point or whatever. It's like trying. I mean, not to take it back to our initial topic, it's like trying to get Candace to nail down a position. She'll never be in a spot where she won't and this is a narcissistic trait. Carrie knows this. They will never have a situation where they will acknowledge or not be able to just completely derail and take no responsibility for what they said, did, or acted. Like it's too easy. I don't think there's any way you could have done that. So I
there's
don't
no
hold it
way you
against
could
Pierce.
ask about it. But also his mom. He should have also asked about the mom. His mom was on his podcast, Fuentes' podcast, and they sat laughing and joking about how much they hate black people.
What? Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I mean, you
I've
could have asked
never
him-
watched any of this stuff.
Yeah, and his sister is a woke leftist,
That's funny.
which is also interesting.
Yeah.
Takes all sorts, I suppose.
Right?
I don't know. Just doing what we do, I would not want. I mean, I understand Fuentes has discussed this on his own streams. Doing what we do, I would not want my family brought in for what I say
Right.
on any show that we do.
I hear you.
So, and I'm not trying to make excuses for Nick Fuentes. I hate the guy.
Brought in
Yeah.
like
I get it.
he just brought him up. He didn't bring him into the studio. His dad, right?
No, he did. Yeah.
right.
he just-
He just used his actual
'Cause that would've been funny.
real first and last name, which is, and Fuentes. That was what upset him, was he used his real
Got
name
it. Yeah.
rather
I'm
than
guessing
just
it's
saying your
Mr.
dad.
Mr. Fuentes.
Yeah, like, wouldn't it?
El Jefe.
Daddy Fuentes.
El Jefe, the boss.
Is he Hispanic? Is that a Hispanic name?
It is. He's his dad's.
Fuentes?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I guess.
Well,
I mean,
it's Spanish, but just because it's Spanish doesn't necessarily mean that it's Mexico or South America.
well, that's why I said Hispanic.
Right, Hispanic.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. Hispanic.
Keri,
I hate his hair, by the way.
we're
That's probably the
going
worst
in-
thing about him is his fucking hair. I hate it. Sorry. go on.
Fuentes's
Yes.
more than Tucker Carlson's.
Yes. Tucker Carlson, he has the I'm a 60-year-old businessman. I work at a bank, blah, 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 right? That's his haircut. I don't
Tucker used to wear a bow tie, so there's that.
yeah.
I wear
Which
a
he should
smoking
bring
jacket.
back.
And I should put on
Ironically.
the ascot at some point.
Yeah, you should.
Because
It was a
Mad gave
gift.
me an ascot.
I gave you multiple.
Gave me, well, there was only one that could actually work with the
What did
colors
Matt do
of
to your
the
ass?
jacket.
What?
Multiple ascots.
True. They're all in the drawer right here. Ascots.
So that's where you keep my love. Locked away.
You should totally
Hidden.
put that on.
But Keri, you were saying that you had limited time. We're probably going to go into the other big topic
Okay.
for the week, so I
Thank
wasn't
you.
sure if you wanted to stick around or if you had anything else you wanted to add in, because I didn't want to get you stuck here for the other topic.
I just wanted to ask before I go, have you guys seen this comedian Ami Kozak?
I don't think so, but maybe.
Okay. Hold on. He does impersonations. I think his Tucker impersonation is the best of all the ones I've seen, but he also does a Milo one, and he does Candace. His Candace is not very good yet, but just pull this one up. I just want to see what
Does
you
he
guys
cross
think.
his eyes when he's doing Milo?
Yes.
Wait,
Well, is
I
Milo
don't remember
cross-eyed?
that. I don't remember that dude's eyes being so jacked
I don't
up
think they
back in the
were.
day. And now I
remember
think he's done enough drugs that, like, he's got an eye that is not. It
Not
looks wonky.
cooperating with the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
don't
okay, there's
think-
also a good possibility he could be blind in one of his eyes because that's how my eye is since I'm blind in my right eye.
But
My
I don't
eyes
remember
gotten
it being
lazy
that
over
way.
time.
When
Well, well-
I know what your eye does, but I mean,
Well, because my eye was never lazy. It only became lazy because of 25 years of not being able to see, and the
Sure.
muscles have gotten weak. So,
yeah,
I
I just
don't
don't remember it being a thing
Yeah, I don't
with
ever
Milo
remember
back
him
in the
having
day.
a eye thing. Yeah.
What
don't.
were you putting it in private chat?
I put it in private chat.
Okay, Chad, can you pull it up? Because when I try to pull up links that I haven't downloaded, it does not work.
At least Milo's hair is non-offensive.
I don't
Well-
even know
It's
what that
just
means.
about everything about Milo is offensive.
This guy, I just think he's really funny. If you like comics, if you like impersonations, and he does, it's so inside. Like you said, most people on the street won't know who Fuentes or Candace is. So it's so insider baseball. It's just like X people. He does impersonations of X people, you know?
All right, let's.
So if you didn't see the Tucker Carlson and Milo Yiannopoulos interview, this is all you need to see.
And
Jeff.
so I just have this basic question. Like, what is gay? Like, are you gay? Am I gay? Is anyone gay? Nobody's gay. Right. Nobody is gay. Totally. The truth is it's something no one wants to talk about, no one wants to discuss, no one wants to go down the rabbit hole, the rabbit hole, poor choice of words, I guess. But nobody wants to discuss it. What being gay is, it is a trauma response. A trauma response that young men go to in order to justify a
I don't know
perverse
who that is
existence.
supposed to be.
They've
That's supposed to be Milo.
Milo.
But he
Yeah,
hasn't
That's
said,
Milo?
he hasn't said
Yeah.
darling yet.
No.
so-
The one with the British accent is
he
Milo.
could get a little better wig for Tucker, but
come up with this idea, this really perverse, disgusting idea that being gay is somehow an act of heroism. But nobody wants to discuss it. What being gay is, no one wants to talk about the dark side, glory holes and the binge drinking and the drugs. And so, are there gays? Oh, literally every single person I've ever come across in conservative media. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Absolutely, totally, ragingly gay. I mean, hello, darling. Gayer than the day is young, while purporting to be Christian.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There better be a darling in there.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's actually a really good Milo
It's
impersonation.
very good. Anyway, this guy cracks me up. You got to follow him. Ami is his name. Ami.
Ami sounds about right.
Yeah. But he did, that interview was pretty much like that. It was pretty, I watched it, was pretty interesting, but he did start off by saying no one's gay. And then later
And
on
then
he's like,
everybody on the
everyone's
right's gay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird coming from Milo.
Yeah.
I guess he's not gay no more.
No one's gay.
Well,
Everyone's gay.
he divorced his black husband, I believe, and he
Aw.
is practicing celibacy rather than it. According to him, he is practicing celibacy rather than being gay.
I call bullshit.
Yeah.
If true, good for him. He also claims he's a Christian now, but at the same time, Milo's out of his freaking mind too.
Yeah, he absolutely
Real
is.
quick, this is the first comment that I see underneath it.
The comedy video?
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
What is it?
This is perfect.
This is perfect. I'm howling with laughter.
He should start doing her too. Anyway, okay.
Yep.
Thank you guys for having me. I
Real
had a blast.
quick before you go, there
Mhm.
was not an update, but who pointed it out? Lindsay pointed out James Wood has responded regarding Rob Reiner, and this is how we should probably do it. I mean, he said, Rob and I remained good friends ever since we made Goes to Mississippi. The studio didn't think I was old enough to do the part, but Rob fought for me. Political differences never stood in the way of our love and respect for each other. I'm devastated by this terrible event.
Yeah,
Perfect response.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
And they are as far apart
As you
on
can
the
be.
political
politically as you
spectrum
can
as you
be,
can
yeah.
possibly be, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So,
Thank you for reading that to me. Wow.
Gives me hope for the world a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, for one side.
For once. Yeah.
well, and before you got here, Mad, that's what we were saying is if you see people on the right dancing on his grave, call them out.
I don't think you have to worry about it. Anybody that
I don't
would
think you
is
have to
not
as
really
much either.
Yeah.
I think who you're going to see is the groypers.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what that means.
Nick
It's
Fuentes'
Fuentes.
followers.
What a horrible name to call your people. You know what I mean? Like you don't like your followers if you're going to call them a stupid name like that.
They also have ranks, if that helps.
Wait,
They
like
have
the KKK?
ranks?
Yes,
Mad.
very much like it is very cult-like.
Like they have like Goblin and Cyclops. These are real things that
They
are in
have-
the KKK.
They have
they
rankings.
do have rankings. Yes.
And-
Mad, it was Grand Exalted Cyclops. That was, I believe that was the official title of Robert Byrd, Senator, West Virginia,
So
who
crazy.
Obama and Joe Biden eulogized.
Yep.
I'm going to leave you with this, Mav, because
Okay.
you were laughing at candy cultists. I've also heard people calling it Cantifa.
There's
That,
only
That's
one. There's only
funny.
one letter in that needs to be changed from an A to a U.
what?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it now. Thank
I would
you.
have to. I
Yeah,
would have to
I
write
agree.
it down.
See you next Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See you guys next. Have a great night. Thanks for having me. I'll
Thanks
see
for
you
hanging
later.
out, Carrie.
Bye,
Thanks,
Carrie.
guys.
Bye, Carrie. Take care.
Okay,
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Tifa.
Let's get Dead Man's $4.99 YouTube super chat. I have a small channel and I have family who occasionally comments and I take precaution to not dox them. I think it's only fair. Yes, that's part of the reason most of us are completely anonymous. And I keep going back and forth, but then you see like the Tim Pool stuff. And Tim Pool's not even that far right. I mean, he's
No,
been a
he's just
fence-sitter
the-
this
he's
whole
just the
time.
biggest.
He's very big, but I mean, he's been swatted 15 times, and then he had the compound shot up. Is that fair to do to your family, just for YouTube, whatever,
Oh,
a podcast?
Depends
And
on my ad
it's a
revenue.
hard call.
Well, okay. As I mentioned before, I understand your reason for wanting to use a human name. My point to you is just because you want to use a human name doesn't mean you have to use your name.
Right.
Oh,
You could
I
use
have a fake
pseudonym.
real name.
Yeah, MadChismo.
MadChismo.
That's
No,
not
like,
true. Your name is Madmark. That's what.
Yeah, yeah,
Mad-
that's what they
Mad
call
Morgan.
me. Yeah. But no, the few times where I'm like, all right, this is a serious dream I'm going on. Let me use my fake real name.
Unless you're at a meetup event and hanging out with people who like to just start
Meeting
yelling.
Keri, and then Keri immediately shouts out your name.
Real name though.
Get a dead name, my
Get a
boy,
dead name,
right after
yeah.
you meet him.
All right, we're already almost 2 hours in. Let's get into the other major topic for the week, which is suicidal empathy. Because
Oh, okay.
over the past week, let's see, Germany. Police arrest 5 Islamists planning terror attacks against a Christmas market in southern Bavaria. Obviously, Bondi Beach. At least 16 dead after an Islamic father and son duo opened fire on Jewish families having a Hanukkah gathering.
It
Man.
wasn't just Jewish people. There's also non-Jews there as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did
'cause it
y'all
was
see the
just
female
on the beach.
cops?
Yes, doing nothing. For
Putting their
20
hands up.
to 30
What-
minutes, running away, hiding, or raising their hands. Hands up, don't shoot me.
So where do you
Wait.
come down? All right, I think has everyone seen the video where the guy runs up and disarms?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard about that, and I
Do
heard that
you-
He should have
did-
shot the guy
he should.
right
He
That's
should've.
right. Yeah, he should have.
I was,
shot him.
I was telling my
because
mom
the guy
about that.
went and grabbed another rifle and started shooting again.
Yeah. Well, and my mom was like, well, that's weird. I was like, it's like, well, it actually makes sense if you think about it, because if you live in a country like Australia where there is no guns there, I mean, there are, but not like the United States. And you're basically relying on the government and you're not thinking to defend yourself. Yeah, it makes perfect sense why they would not do something like that. It's that the other thing too is that we don't know how we would actually act in a situation like that. I would like to think that if I disarmed the individual, I'd be unloading the magazine into his chest to neutralize
But
the
then
threat.
you're likely to be arrested as well.
Yeah.
There? Yes.
That's the
Well,
problem.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's so many different reasons why he acted the way he did and did not shoot. And
Don't want to be labeled an Islamophobic person.
well,
no,
he's also
I think
a Muslim.
What Comix is saying is very true. You know, I've seen it a lot with, guys that I served with or veterans. You know, you never know how you're going to react when shit starts, flying. But and honestly, sometimes it's better that you don't know because you may be disappointed in how you react. I saw guys that before we deployed, they were looked at as being high speed, low drag, the best. And then when shit went down for the first time, they froze.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that, the machismo thing of like, I'm gonna go take out everyone, and then the bullets start flying and they freeze.
Right, exactly.
You
And-
never
and
know
it's
who's
like
going to
the one-
be Captain Sobel.
Yeah, and then it's like the one mousy dude that everyone thought, oh yeah, he's dead, man. At first,
Exactly,
who's the
yeah.
complete badass. So yeah,
Well, what I'm finding amazing is that one guy tackled one of the shooters, right? But there are so many phone videos of this where people are just standing there watching the guy shoot. Like
That's
his back is to them and they're recording for 20, 30 minutes and nobody's doing anything. It's like, I get would you be able to do it? But we had one guy out of everybody sitting there recording it, like you see with all of these other things that goes on in America.
To Mad's point, I was going to say, I think you have to acknowledge how rare it is to have the mindset of standing up and trying to stop that situation. Like,
right.
how rare? Like, what was the Paris train, the one Clint Eastwood made the movie about, where
Oh yeah.
the 3 Marines were just happened to be on that train. The entire train is getting mobbed, and these three guys are standing up and like, we're gonna fucking take this guy down. You
And
know,
I get that, but I also look at like the United flight. What was it? 83.
93.
How many people decided to take action?
That's because, and this is where I'm gonna, not to knock them, they had more information than the people on the other flights.
Yeah, they did.
Those guys knew that
They knew what was going to happen.
They knew what was going to happen. You're like, they were aware of the World Trade Center flights because so it's because.
But if you're sitting there watching somebody shooting for 30 minutes, you're pretty aware of what's going on too.
But you're gonna, where are you running? If you're 100 yards, 50 yards away, you're gonna rush a guy with a gun.
He's aiming the other direction.
For now,
you think you could cover 100 yards before he could turn around?
The
and
one
shoot
guy
you?
did. He got shot in the arm twice, but
yeah, he got shot twice. Like, he got lucky in that he was able to get to that point and disarm the person. But probably you got to understand, like, if you're like even say 30 yards away,
this shit happens quick, brother. You have no idea. Like it. When I've been shot at.
You're gonna cover quick. I mean, say 30 yards, you're not Xavier Worthy. You're not covering that in like 3.2 seconds. You're gonna try to come up on the guy with rifles and with assuming and hoping that he's not going to just be able to make a small movement to turn around enough to shoot you.
360 no scope.
Yeah. I mean, then we talk about the guy who did manage to do it, and we're like, oh, but he got shot twice, but he still did it. I mean, he got lucky that he didn't get center mass shot. I'm not going to knock people for not rushing over a distance to take out an active shooter when they have no equipment. They don't have firearms to like do suppressing fire to cover the distance. Like, nobody in the military is trying to run 30, 40 yards without suppressing fire.
I'm up. He sees me. I'm down. That's how long you're rushing. You know what I mean? That's literally what you do. I'm up. He sees me. I'm down. And you're back on the ground. And
confirm me, Mad. If you are trying to move forward, you have other people get up and start doing suppressing fire.
Yeah,
so you can make
a
forward to do a forward movement, and then that group that moved up maybe 10 feet, 15 feet would then allow for the group behind them to move up.
I'm not necessarily knocking everybody for this. What I'm saying, it's become a pretty sick world where everybody will just sit there and pull out their phone and record it. Nobody does anything for 20 to 30 minutes.
Well, and again, it's like you
want them to do.
You got to think of the ramifications of intervening. I mean, again, look at what happened to Daniel Penny. You know, that we live in a world too that by going and subduing someone who's being crazy, and they unfortunately die in the process, suddenly you're the one who's going to jail. I mean, that's the thing that's so fucked up about the situation is that it's like what it was either Chad or Mad pointed out. It's like, yeah, if you disarm the guy and unload, suddenly you're the one who's going to jail because you shot the terrorist. I mean, I don't live in Australia. I don't know what the laws are there in regards to self-defense, but there's a lot of places that demonize self-defense. And if you dare to fight back, you're the one who's going to fucking jail. And that's the thing that is so insane. And that has trained a lot of people to pull out their phone and film. It's also a good thing that it is being filmed for posterity purposes. But yeah, I agree. More people should intervene. But the issue
goddamn
is the
Zapruder.
laws.
Why didn't he go after Oswald? He just sat there and filmed JFK getting shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making a joke, but
I
don't expect. Yeah, it's happening over the course of 20 to 30 minutes. If you're not equipped to handle if you don't, now the police, on the other hand, that is the biggest indictment right there, is they do have the equipment.
That is this.
They do have the bulletproof vests on their center mass so that they could try to move forward and neutralize the threat.
It's ballistic, and I don't think their vest would have stopped that caliber.
I think they were weren't they shooting? Was it an AK?
No, it was
rifles.
A bolt action.
It was a single bolt action rifle
with 30-06 or something.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Bolt action rifle with a scope, which meant when they were scoping, they meant to shoot a 10-year-old girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this was a guy who was there, and the pictures of the cops are on the left.
Okay, first off, this is a perfectly good example why we should not let women be police officers.
Three of the cops that were there were
because I'm pretty sure all three of the people in the picture are women.
Yep.
No offense,
one's
ladies.
ducking behind the car. One's got the arms up, and the other.
Simple as that. 20 minutes was 4 policemen there. Nobody gave fire back. Nothing. Like they are froze. Like for.
Is he French?
Like 20 minutes. Like, and they should. The guy change magazine. I look at him all the time. I was doing my
I think he's Jewish.
Jewish, like probably natural Hebrew might be his first language.
Pistol and just shoot. And the other one was under. They start to come close to the audience. I think one of the people took his rifle and shoot him. That's one of them. That's what I saw. I didn't know how much I saw, but
who were they targeting?
Oh, all the crowd. Anyone.
So that makes it sound like that's the end of the video clip, but that also makes it sound like the other guy was taken down by somebody who did run up, take the gun, and shoot him. I mean, we saw the one where he didn't shoot, but according to this guy, somebody did come up, take the gun, and shoot.
He could be mistaken too, though.
Could be.
Yeah, he could be.
Oh, breaking news: the dude they had detained in the Brown shooting is released. They've cleared him. He is not the shooter.
Was that the stuff from last night, or is that the stuff from today? Because last night they had somebody in custody, and then they said it wasn't him.
This
from
is
what
today.
shooting?
The Brown University.
The Brown University.
Okay.
Where is the Brown University?
Brown is in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And although I have not been able to corroborate this in many places because it's not being reported.
Never mind, Rhode Island. I was thinking of Columbia.
The initial reports from the Brown University thing also had people claiming that somebody was yelling in Arabic before the shooting. Although I'm not seeing that reported.
All I saw was that he yelled
widespread.
something, but nobody.
That's what I have heard on actual news, but there were multiple reports late yesterday that what he screamed was the usual thing.
By the way, how horrible is your life going to be if you were put out there as this shooter, and then they're like, oh no, it wasn't him. Everyone's gonna associate him with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they even named the person that they took into custody earlier today. Here's how the Labour MP in Australia, one of the Labour MPs, her name's Lola. Here's how she reacted to this whole situation.
I don't want to speculate on what the factors are that have contributed to this awful tragedy that seems to be of a huge scale. You know, the fact that we know that 10 people have lost their lives today is utterly horrendous, and you know, my heart breaks for those people and their families and for the communities affected across the world. I think it's important to note that so the escalation of this narrative of who we're against and how much we want to divide each other and how much we want to attack each other, that is really at the core of a lot of the problems that we have in the country at the moment. And I firmly believe that people are good and that given the opportunity, they will look out for each other. And I just want to say that as much as possible, we should try and detoxify the way that we think of people who aren't like us.
What
Exactly. She starts off so well. And then we get into we've really just got to stop demonizing Islamists. Yeah. It's like, I can pull up. I've got 5 or 6 stories just from the last week and a half of Islamists killing people, including this one.
Diversity in this country is our strength, and I
this is
the
suicidal empathy that I'm talking about.
Celebrating our difference, because you know I was a community organizer a long time ago.
You know what our differences are? We do. Go on.
Diversity is our strength.
Goj is right. She's doing the Norm Macdonald meme.
Yes. Yeah. Why won't you think of the poor Muslims that suffer now?
Yeah.
that we ever worked on were about bringing people of different faiths and different worldviews and different backgrounds together to find what we had in common. And at times like this, it makes me think of, you know, what happened with Jo Cox and her speech and that mantra that...
I know I've been saying it for months. We're not going to find anything in common. Islam is not compatible with the West.
Yeah, not in the extreme version. Yeah, which is the majority of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it is a political. It is not just religious; it is political. They are here to take over, and the West has let everybody in, thinking, "Oh, they have the same values as us." There are portions of this world that do not have the same values as the West. And we are not recognizing it fast enough. I mean, why are the Somalians, you know, stealing all this money? Why are they doing all this crap in Minnesota? Well, maybe because their culture is not Western culture. Same thing with Islam.
Right. Well, I mean,
it's
the
not
issue is
compatible.
that they're not leaving it behind. They're bringing it with them. You know what I mean? Even and generation after generation are still.
That's a feature of Islam. They're literally told to take it with them and then take over from the infidel. The other story that we had related to this, ISIS gunman shot and killed 2 service members in Syria and an interpreter, wounded 3 other people. Sure, that's more in a military sense, but Trump's pissed. You're going to see some retaliation. The guy who did it's dead, but you're going to see something happening in Syria as payback for that, because we had 2 servicemen die tonight. Well, earlier today, because it was over in the other hemisphere. Thousands of Hamas supporters gathered outside a concert venue where Jews were gathering to celebrate the first night of Hanukkah, and they started tearing down the gates. This was in Amsterdam. So we've got Australia kicks it off, and then everybody starts to think, yeah, that's a great idea. We should just, let's do it in Amsterdam. Let's do it in France. Let's do it in England. Let's do it everywhere.
I don't know if Europe's going to be able to come back from the amount of damage that's been done.
No, I mean, it depends on what country in Europe, but I mean, obviously, like the UK is fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, when the most common name in the UK is Mohammed over John.
That's insane. I saw that too.
Speaking of, I'd like to recall for everybody, remember the guy with the Molotov cocktails in Boulder, Colorado in June?
No.
Suspect named Mohammed, who is just lighting people on fire on the University of Colorado campus?
No, I honestly don't remember that.
Okay. Remember the shooting of the 2 Jewish people that in Washington, D.C. in May?
Yeah.
No,
in the Capitol Jewish Museum?
It was at the embassy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How about the deadly car and knife attacks that have happened, specifically Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation in Manchester, England in October?
Clearly we need
by a Syrian named Jihad.
We need car control, Rama.
Yeah, I was going to say, clearly that's the problem with the car, guys. Don't be racist.
We need is freaking Christendom to start deporting all of them.
People Magazine is confirming that it looks like it was Rob Reiner's son.
Oof.
Holy shit.
Nick Reiner. And there's a clip, man, this guy does kind of look a little bit.
He's had drug problems in the past, has he not?
I mean, I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't know. That's sad. That is very sad.
It is very sad, yeah.
This is the son there with Rob Reiner.
You're pulling from your own as well. Was there ever a moment when you thought this is too much? I don't want him to know all this.
Well, he knew a lot about what I'd went through already, so I wasn't.
This was them talking about. They did a movie together about his addiction.
but the father character initially was harsh on him, and
So this was from
not
2016.
wanting the character to be that villainous.
Bill said he's
and
currently
it was hard for
transitioning.
him for a while.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Really?
Shocking. If there's two places violence is coming from, it would be that, and it would be Islam. We all see what the issues are, and nobody ever wants to call it out. Dead Man
I feel like
79.
that's changing.
It's starting to, but it's like you just said, too late for Europe.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, fuck them. They got weird food.
Dead Man for $4.99. I thought banning guns would free us of shootings. Yeah, I love the responses from the Democrats.
Oh,
you know, if it happens here, it's, immediately go to, we need to ban guns. If it happens over in Australia where they freaking ban guns for the most part, then their response is thoughts and prayers.
Well, no.
If it happens here, you're not allowed to say thoughts and prayers because it's the freaking guns. But if it happens over there, thoughts and prayers.
No, hold on. That's not true, because Ilhan Omar came out and started and used it to start talking about tougher gun laws here.
Yeah, clearly that works so fucking
because it's
well in
obviously working.
Australia.
How often do we have 20 to 30 minute shooting sprees?
Not that. I mean,
Uvalde,
Virginia Tech went on for a good little while.
It's rare, but it definitely does happen.
Yeah, more often a good guy with a gun takes out a bad guy with a gun.
Yeah. Which I'm actually shocked about that one, because, most universities have an on-campus police force.
Yeah, those are a joke.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but
yeah,
I mean,
they're Paul Blarts is what they are.
Paul Blarts.
Actually,
the on-campus one tend to be the younger dudes who want to hit on chicks more often,
or the older guys who can't really do they'll leave a city or a county and start working at the university because it's lower pace.
Yeah.
You might occasionally get a retired federal officer who wants to get a double dip pension.
That too.
Got a couple other clips. Let me bring up this one.
But I will say, while you're bringing them up, in the United States, the shootings that happen most often for length of time tend to be in what are considered soft targets,
zones,
where there's where the likelihood of someone with another firearm on scene is lower.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like Brown University. Gun-free zone.
Or any public school, which is generally due to federal legislation.
It's absurd how they do not obey those signs.
Yeah, it's
I know, it's amazing, guys, that these shooters just ignore the signs, and they're
they have no respect
how
for the
inconsiderate
laws.
Them. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. So this is a dude in Chicago telling you exactly what we're saying, or what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, these days we don't repeat this enough, or we don't have this aqidah concept firm in our minds that Islam did not come to coexist. Islam Islam لا يعلى. الإسلام يعلو ولا يعلى عليه. And Islam is raised high and nothing is raised above Islam. We can't think of Islam that it came to live with these other religions, in the sense that Islam is a religion amongst those religions, and they have a share with the truth. And they have a share of justice. And they have a share of, this worship of Allah, the correct worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam came to correct all of that. Islam came to remove the oppression of all those religions. And it is the only truth, and it is the only way to justice.
Now, some people might argue that Christianity also says it's the only way and truth. But it also doesn't say go and kill the infidel if they don't convert.
Right.
I mean, they're coming here. They're coming into the West. They went into Australia. They're telling you what the plan is. It is an invasion. We've said it over and over and over. And now we're seeing some of the fruits of that invasion. This week has been absolutely insane. The last 2 days have been insane.
But
Islamophobia. People say that, I mean, the whole homophobia, Islamophobia, all those things. The phobia is an irrational fear. The only one that exists truly is the Islamophobia, and it's not irrational.
Nope.
It is a rational fear of these people coming in and doing stuff like this. Now, Chad, Eric Myers just beat me to it. Give us a history lesson on the Crusades.
From the inception of Islam.
The Muslim horde.
From the inception, Islam has been a conquering religion. It is not a peace. I mean, this misnomer about we are the religion of peace is bullshit.
Yeah, that sounds bullshit.
From the beginning, going back to the Prophet Muhammad when he was not being a libertarian about relationships with minors.
With children, yeah.
Was all about taking over and expanding territory. The only thing that has kept Islam from being more known for this is the fact that different sects within Islam fought each other over who would get to have the caliphate. There's when you think of ISIS and it describes the caliphate, which is the religious land of Islam. It's not a new thing. They've all wanted the caliphate going back to Muhammad. But when you've got Wahhabism and you've got all this other stuff when in terms of Sunni, Shia,
yep,
they each one thinks their flavor should be the caliphate, that tends to keep them fighting each other for a little bit.
It was so bad that in Iraq they had the Iraqi police who were Sunni, and then they had the national police who were Shia because they cannot work together. You know what I mean? That's how insane it is. They have to be separated at almost every level. I was sitting in on a meeting that some of our higher ups were having with local government or whatever, and they were like, this was during the Sunni Shia war when I was there, and the dude goes, no, you leave it to us. No Sunni, no problem. And the colonel goes, you're talking about genocide. The guy goes, what? No, not the Jews, the Sunni. We didn't even have Jews. That's a real thing that happened.
I mean, and then so you've got like Iran versus Iraq for a decade in the 80s fighting because of that. You've got the Turkish side of it, which is the inheritance of the Ottoman Empire, who think they should be running it. You've got now out of the ISIS, which is kind of outgrowing out of Syria, which is their version, and they all want to have the caliphate. But in the end goal, by the way, once each of them are done with each other, they still want to take over everybody else. Yeah. This is not like a thing where like, oh, we're going to be perfectly happy once we, figure out which one of us is the number one seed for Islam and we've knocked out our group. Think of it like the NCAA bracket. They're just going to take over their region and then they're moving forward in the bracket. Right now, they have moved forward into Europe. And part of that, by the way, times very closely to when Erdogan took over Turkey and when Erdogan started streaming migrants in through Turkey into the European Union. Turkey was their access point because through the European Union, once you get a passport, you can start going into any other country within the EU.
Yep.
And then they just took over and started using the refugee program as the way to get people in there. They are not going to indoctrinate
Somalians here.
Yeah, they are not going to acclimatize. They are not going to adopt your values. The people who run for political office will be doing so under the guise of lies in order to take over enough so that once they have enough people of their faith in the zone, they will strip away the veneer. Look at Dearborn when you start hearing the call to prayer, and guess what? They repealed all the rules about
noise ordinances.
They told you to F off. We're going to start doing the call to prayer. They are not doing that. And what did they say they were going to do that when they first started running? No. We were Mondami. We're in New York. We're just doing cost of living. Yeah.
Faster buses.
once they reach, and by the way, that is a minimal threshold. It's around 10%, 10% to 15%, because as you've seen in these videos, they start sucking on the welfare state and they just start pumping out enough kids so they can, within a generation, completely outvote you within a local regional election. Because guess what? They do show up to vote because the imam tells them to. It's like the old Tammany Hall thing. They will, like, the imam says, you're showing up and this is who we're voting for. In Minnesota, the only reason that one dude didn't win
feud.
Yeah, the only reason the dude didn't win in, for mayor of Minneapolis is because there were some of the families didn't want him as there were Somali feuds,
a blood feud in
him.
Somalia.
Yeah, exactly. So they went for Fry or whatever his name is, and then Fry, guess what? He had to go pay the piper. He started doing that hostage video at the Somali restaurant,
eating
Didn't
their
he also?
food.
Oh my god, I felt bad for him having to try to eat something. Oh, but didn't he also say that he's looking forward to
Western
going
civilization.
Didn't he say he's looking forward to being able to visit Somali?
I'm sure he will.
I mean, Minnesota is the land that was promised to them 3,000 years ago.
I was like, I think he's already there. I think he's already in Somali.
John Wayne, 1985, for $10 on YouTube. Thank you. When 9/11 happened, and I remember that was the very first time I heard the word Islamophobia. They were conditioning us all the way back then, and now look at all the territory Islamists have gained. True.
Indeed.
You know what else we heard? Never again.
Yeah.
And that's
but
kind of gone
apparently
by
never
the wayside,
again
hasn't
means, we'll let it happen again.
Repeatedly through history. Yeah.
Well, guys, they didn't use planes this time, so technically we're still haven't let it happen again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's a weird thing to say given the context of this conversation. The best shot we have at trying to help turn around this debacle is Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia. He's a very Western-oriented leader. You can look at the fact of the stuff he's doing in Saudi Arabia, building theme parks. And you might think it sounds silly, but inviting the WWE, letting women's wrestling events take place in Saudi Arabia.
I agree. Absolutely. I think you're right.
You might think it sounds silly because they have to make them change their outfits, but even letting that happen, people are underestimating how much MBS is actually attacking head on, like some of the strict Wahhabist tendencies within Saudi Arabia, because he wants to eventually, he knows oil might eventually not be the most stable financing. So he wants to make Saudi Arabia a finance capital, a destination, a tourist capital. It's actually got right on the coast. It's got a lot of stuff to develop.
And that's how you actually do make change is by it's exposure therapy almost. You know what I mean? It's what they want, is what they try to say about us, having diversity and it being our strength. That's bullshit. But it is true, though. If you're like, look, women aren't that bad. I mean, we may not all agree. I do, though. New channel. But they're awesome. But, once you've, like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe they're not that bad. You got to slow walk them into accepting it.
But then the other side of that is, sure, he's trying to court the West. But as we've said multiple times, you're allowed to lie and do whatever.
No, but this is different, though.
Get the trust.
It's different, though. He's not making changes here. He's making changes to there.
Yeah,
right.
He's not. No, this isn't a lie to change. Like, he's not putting on a face to invade the West. He's forcibly changing the culture of Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And he's doing it by way of, he was... if you go back to the Khashoggi stuff, Khashoggi was an agent for some bad people, and MBS, rightly or wrongly,
just remind everybody he was a journalist.
Yeah, Khashoggi was
was assassinated,
quote unquote journalist. He was a agent for.
I just want you to give the background.
Yeah, Khashoggi was a planted agent of the Muslim Brotherhood, who worked as a alleged journalist and would publish articles to push their agenda. and he did stuff. And because the Muslim Brotherhood hates Mohammed bin Salman for making changes away from that, and also using his authority to nuke anybody who has ties to the Muslim Brotherhood in Saudi Arabia, started doing stuff. And so MBS, in a very authoritative, dictatory way, removed Khashoggi from being a problem for him.
Yep.
And it, then people tried to use that against him. And it was actually a really terrible moment for American foreign policy, because Biden made this huge thing about how the murder of Khashoggi by affiliated people of Mohammed bin Salman was not something he would abide. He would never do it. And then he went over to Saudi Arabia and begged them to pump more oil.
Yeah.
And
which we had multiple journalists when MBS came over to visit Trump, tried to call him out on that.
And they shut
Trump
that down.
went off.
Yep. Yeah, you're not. This is again realism versus principles. If Saudi Arabia as the lead of OPEC's got you by the short hairs, you can't be pulling that kind of stuff. And they did. So otherwise, pump from America. That's the real answer. So he's doing. I think he is, like, to answer Southern Bell. What is he doing? He is. And you can't do it all at once. Like Matt is saying, you do it through subtle movements that expose you. Yes, they start getting exposed to women, and you use Western women first because they're not, the Saudi women. So but it's getting them used to the fact that they're not wearing
It's
niqabs
normalizing.
or burqas, right? They're
It's normalization.
It's okay for them to be over there. We're building the biggest theme park in the whole friggin' world with like 600-foot drop off a mountain.
I know someone that lives there. Her husband is working there or whatever, and she does go out jogging without any, in normal clothes, without the head cover or anything, and doesn't have any problems because it's not.
Well, didn't originally Saudi Arabia have the morality police that if a woman went jogging without a headscarf, they would basically pull her
they're
over?
Gone. Like, he's reorienting them.
That's good. I mean, because I remember that big a thing where, if you're a Saudi woman and you're not wearing a hijab, that you'd be stopped by the morality police.
So that's one of the things. Like, they're right now, Saudi Arabia is effectively at war with a rebel faction out of Yemen, and it's weird to say that, but the Yemen faction is actually more fundamentalist. They're like the more fundamentalist Islamic people than the ones running Saudi Arabia. So when I always think it's funny when people are in the American left-wing press attacking Saudi Arabia for fighting and bombing the Yemeni rebels and starving them out and doing all this stuff, and it's like, they would if they win, you'd really be super welcome in their regime. It's like you see the LGBTQ activists marching for the Palestinians, and you're like, do you know what they do to people that like over there?
Look at Afghanistan, perfect example of what happens.
Yep.
They
Taliban. They're right back to where they were.
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks, Biden.
So, I'm a fan of what he's doing. He's the type of person, and he's doing it by making pragmatic deals and doing that kind of stuff. So that's the person. If you're trying to promote somebody in an Islamic power regime, you start promoting and working with, and this is what Trump is doing. And they're trying. That's why they keep trying to drive a wedge out of his foreign policy, because he is working with the Saudis on this, and you're getting a lot of pushback on it because the other more fundamentalist Muslim Brotherhood aligned Islamic elements, and the Muslim Brotherhood is 100% on like, let's get the caliphate going by any means necessary. They don't like it because MBS I honestly, in his heart of hearts, I think he's just a straight up, I want money and power, I don't give a shit about religion kind of guy. And they don't like that. Just like, honestly, Saddam Hussein was the same way in Iraq, he wasn't a fundamentalist Islamic
No,
person.
he
He was
was
a
not.
dictator. He was
Yeah.
a terrible guy, but he was secular.
Yeah, he used religion for political gains.
Just like the Assad family in Syria, you know who they didn't march out and just to execute? Christians. Because they didn't give a shit about the religious side. They were Baathists. Baathists was a secular political movement. And
Yeah,
people
and
forget that.
the one of the first things we did when we invaded Iraq, we got rid of all of them that were in the
Yep.
government.
Mhm.
Dead Man
Great idea.
for $4.99 says, "What's really bad is that the three religions could live in peace, but they just want control." I don't agree about
I don't
one.
know that. I don't know
When
that the
one
Christian.
specifically says to go out and kill. It's
Well,
different. I mean,
It
there
says-
are
it
there are
says a lot of
portions
things.
of that religion whose goal is to bring about Armageddon. Christianity says that Armageddon will happen, but you're not supposed to be actively trying to bring it about.
But yeah, like when I
mean,
see
it doesn't mean that there aren't
pastors
people
trying
that
to
are like
fundraise to build
that,
the
but-
temple,
Right.
I'm like, what are we doing over here?
Yeah.
Like, no, we do not want to build that temple again.
But
don't do it.
What Chad was talking about earlier with, the different factions within Islam, there are factions that want to, if they are the one that comes out of the bracket, the plan is let's start Armageddon as quickly as possible.
Right.
They
But-
want the world to end.
Yeah. I think the point he's just making is that they are, all three are Abrahamic religions, and there are, there are fundamental similarities.
Is Islam really?
It is categorized as
Islam
yes.
came about 600 years after Christ, and from
Right.
an illiterate guy who basically just rewrote the Bible
You know what Islam
with no
is?
literacy.
It's like the prequel to Mormonism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just a random dude who jumped on the Christian train and was like, you know what? How can I make a sect that lets me do what I want? And for Muhammad, it was minor affiliated actions. And for Joseph Smith, it was marrying everybody.
I want to bang all the bitches.
Yep.
On that
So-
note, guys, I got to drop. I'm tired.
All right.
Yeah, it's all right. I think we're only doing one more quick fun thing, and then we're all gonna call it a night. But
One
if you
more
need to
fun
go-
thing. What were, did I miss the other ones?
Yeah, we're gonna end lightheartedly on Jasmine Crockett. But comics, if you got to go, that's fine.
Man, is
Yeah,
she
I got to
imploding
get to
in
bed.
the-
I slept like ass all weekend, so I want to go to bed now.
Good seeing you,
At
Comics.
least you got the work done.
Yeah, at least I got the work done. Good night, folks. I'll catch you next time.
See you, brother.
All right.
Bye, comics.
See you tomorrow.
The Book of Mormon to Middle East Boogaloo.
That's pretty funny.
That's a pretty good one.
So, I
Are
think
we
it was
gonna do the cotton comments?
yes. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I said she's definitely running for Senate.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So we've had we'll play the video about cotton, but we also had the hilarious story coming out that apparently it was the Senate Republicans who said there was a poll that said that she would actually run well. So the Senate Republicans actually disseminated that poll everywhere to pull Jasmine Crockett into the race because they see her as the weakest person that they could possibly run against. Because Cornyn, it's Cornyn down there, right, Chad?
That is who, but he's gonna probably get knocked out in the primary.
It is going to be a tough primary race, but
Yeah.
right now we control that
Paxton,
seat.
Paxton is, I think, polling
Ken
ahead
Paxton.
of Cornyn. Yeah.
Who is the current AG, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So there was going to be a tough Republican primary that was going to bloody, them up a little bit. And then now Jasmine Crockett's gone in, and basically the field has been cleared on the Democrat side for her because of this poll that isn't real. It was basically almost a rigged poll that the Republicans went out and put out there everywhere to make her think that she actually has a chance of winning this. Now this could backfire completely, but I don't think it will because it's in Texas and Jasmine Crockett's an idiot. But That's the reason she decided to jump in. She did her little announcement video where she just stared off into space while Trump called her low IQ and thought that was a great entry to her Senate run, when everybody sees that she's low IQ. So
Well, what's crazy, it comes back to what I've said for a long time. Everybody needs a memeologist. Someone to be like, no, this isn't going to be, taken the way you think it is.
Unfortunately, the left can't meme, Mad.
No, but they need a memeologist to tell them ahead of time if they're going to be memed for something that they put out.
Their memeologist thought that was a great ad. That's the scary part.
It was probably a woman.
Here's her talking about why we need the illegals.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Her hair looks fucked up.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not.
Hold on. Wait.
We done picking cotton. We are.
There
you can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
We done picking cotton. We got a whole new slave.
You know that's not how she normally talks, right? She's never talked like that before.
Oh yeah, we know. We've pointed it out multiple times that she is
so annoying.
College educated and
left and right over
spoke perfect English until she was in Congress. And then it's just to certain groups. When she actually thinks that she needs to be taken seriously, she will speak without any ebonics, and then she will just slip into it whenever she feels like it, if she thinks it'll win over any favor with the crowd that she's in. So, yeah. There's our fun thing to end on. Jasmine Crockett, saying basically that we need slave labor. We need illegal immigrants and slave labor because we ain't picking no cotton no more.
But I don't mind the idea of never mind. Go.
It's just the Democrats are so racist. I mean, we're the ones who are accused of it all the time, and they're the ones that are like, no, we need people that will clean our houses, do our landscaping and all this kind of stuff. And you sure as hell know it's not going to be us or any white people. And they're this is not racist at all. It's just saying that we need illegals to do these things because we won't do it.
Yeah, that's who they are. They are the lawn, the lawn mowers and the.
This is the best they can aspire to. And also, black people can't go to a DMV and get a license. Don't know how to use a printer or the internet. It just cracks me up. The amount of racism that they just casually drop all the time cracks me up. But we're at 2 hours and 36 minutes. Chad, did you have any Supreme Court or any kind of court stuff you wanted to hit before we call it a show?
I mean, we've had a couple good stuff in the term. I mean, I think this week, what was I listening to? I mean, basically the same thing we reiterate always. Ketanji Brown is an idiot.
Is a moron. Yeah.
Is a moron. So dumb.
I'm glad she's there because it's so entertaining.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear the oral arguments in the birthright citizenship case. It's going to be so hilarious when we get to that one. Because this week we had that story break about the Chinese billionaire who's using surrogates to have hundreds of children in the United States.
Right.
Oh, cool.
I'm sure that kind of thing has to come up in this case. Like, there's no way the writers of the 14th Amendment intended it to be this way. Like, this is not something you can
You know what is almost just an ironclad argument on our side? When did Indians start getting automatic citizenship? What is it, the 1920s?
No, they don't get the Congress had to act because they were not citizens under
because
the 14th
you were
Amendment.
not considered
Native Americans. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. But
I
you
was
were
thinking
not
Red Dot.
considered a citizen as a Native American until the early 1900s
because
by
you were
birth.
not under the jurisdiction
Right.
thereof.
Correct.
Because people who've gone to Native American casinos know that the reservation is
Mhm.
not technically considered United States land.
Right. But the point is, just being born in America is not citizenship. And that whole thing in the early 1920s, I believe, is when it was. That all came about after the 14th. So obviously, the argument that they're trying to make that anybody born here is automatically a citizen does not hold up if you had to do more law to make Native Americans allowed to have citizenship.
Well, no, but that's specifically because of the treaties that were made with those tribes for them to have native their reservations, though.
But they're born on American soil.
No, they're not.
And
They're
they didn't
born
have
reservations
no,
are
they're
American
not.
soil.
That's the whole point.
It's just
They're
like a
not born in
military
the
base
US.
in a foreign country is
Correct.
American soil. So if you're born on a U.S. military installation anywhere in the world, that's considered being born on American
Correct.
soil.
So if you left a reservation and had to go to a hospital outside of the reservation?
Yes, you would be on American soil, and in theory, under the current legal reasoning, be considered a United States citizen.
I don't know. We'll see what the argument ends up being, because I think that'll get brought up. I think what you just brought up will be mentioned. And I think the words of the actual writer of that amendment will definitely be brought up, because it was not ever meant to be this.
I saw which case it was I was listening to. It was Humphrey's Executor. It was the review of that under the slaughter in this case, the person that Trump had fired.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So this is the review of the Humphrey's Executor decision. For people who don't know, Humphrey's Executor is called that because there was a man named Humphreys who was on the original version of the SEC in the 1930s after Roosevelt set it up. He was fired, but it's considered an independent board at the time, and it was appointed to a term. He passed away as he was appealing his termination, so it was his estate that continued the lawsuit. So that's why it's called Humphrey's Executor, because it was the executor of his estate that continued the lawsuit. In the 1930s, the Supreme Court ruled that independent boards that don't wield substantial executive power cannot be subject to the president's unilateral termination because they're not executive agencies. What we've found since the 1930s is that all of these fuckers are wielding massive amounts of executive power, and they've been standing by this decision to keep presidents from firing them. So I think it is based on the oral arguments that we're going to at least get a 5-4, possibly 6-3 decision reaffirming that these executive agencies, and this is probably going to be written by Roberts so he can narrowly craft it a little bit, that executive agencies that wield executive power are subject to the ability of the president to fire at will, but he's going to try to narrow it down to do it because he may want to protect the Federal Reserve Board. The problem is it's hard to argue that the Federal Reserve isn't wielding massive amounts of executive power with the monetary policy control. Because this decision is why they also put on hold his termination of the Federal Reserve Board governor that he fired for, ostensibly lying on her mortgage application. They said that one's on hold pending this one because we had already agreed to hear oral arguments. I think they're doing that because they telegraphed they're gonna settle this, and it's gonna just be because this goes back. They did this with the same thing with the Consumer Financial Protection Board when they ruled that the way the head of that agency was appointed to a term outside of the presidents that are elected was not allowed because it's an executive agency. They're just going to kind of like really just nail it down now and say it. And Ketanji Brown was an idiot. And what she was saying was like, I'm not really comfortable with the president being able to fire the PhDs and the scientists and the experts in the government. That doesn't sound good. It's like, it's his administration. It's not a like permanent permanent class of bureaucrats who get to run things.
Yeah, it's not a fourth branch.
Right.
Yeah. So here's the this is her quote. So having a president come in and fire all the scientists and the doctors and the economists and the PhDs and replacing them with loyalists and people who don't know anything is actually not in the best interests of the citizens of the United States. It's like, oh no.
But having leftists there is.
Well, yeah, because they're PhDs and doctors and.
Mm-hmm.
She further said these issues should not be in presidential control. Effectively, the area where you as a citizen vote should not be allowed to control the government.
Well, I mean, shouldn't it be Congress? Oh, wait, but then didn't they give up on that? Didn't they like, we don't want to deal with that anymore?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they don't like, the Supreme Court doesn't have a very happy opinion of legislative agencies ceding to executive authority either. They kind of put up with it because the Congress is so derelict in their duty that they kind of, but the Supreme Court, when these issues have come up, has expressly said, and this came up when they got rid of the Chevron decision, when they said that lawmaking has to be done by the Congress, it's not by an executive agency. Any branch of the government cannot cede constitutionally explicit powers to another branch. Now, this is the argument against tariffs, where they're like trying to say that Trump can't do tariffs because the tax making authority is controls that, whereas President Trump is arguing that what he is using is foreign policy, which is expressly delegated to him under Article 2, and that his tariff policies are just extensions of his foreign policy. And so that's why he's able to do it, because he's using tariffs under economic emergency actions to negotiate deals in the interest of the American people based on, foreign policy. So I tend to fall on the executive, side on this one, that it's an execution of foreign policy, and that because Congress could overrule them should they want, if it's not being done to that's where it should be. It shouldn't be resolved with the court overturning it. Congress, if what he's doing is so abhorrent to Congress, they should do their 2/3 majority and overrule him as the president. That would be the proper reaction to it. So I think Humphrey's executor is dead. I think this decision comes down probably around February or March, and it's going to be pretty specific that the president is in charge of the executive power, and that there's no one who can be in an executive position that the president cannot fire.
Right. There was one other thing. Did you see the story about Sean Duffy doing the audit on New York?
I thought it was going to be doing the pull-ups in the airport, but yeah. No, I know that the amount of crazy things they're doing in California and New York for CDLs is ridiculous.
So Duffy is basically telling New York they're going to withhold $73 million in federal highway funds because they did an audit and more than half of the state's immigrant commercial driver's license were issued illegally. Out of 200 sampled records, 107 were issued in violation of federal law.
So that's not that bad. Almost batting 500. That's, you can be an all-star with that.
Yep. But outside of that, I think we're probably good to go for tonight, right? I'm going to post the Discord in the chat. If there's stuff you want us to talk about, I didn't do a very good job of getting to it this week, but we just kind of started that, pulling some of the people over from Brandon Morris's old show. But Gojira did. She dropped some articles and stuff for us to talk about.
And I'll
So
start
be
paying
like
attention to
Gojira.
that Discord.
And I
I've
tried
ignored
to.
it up to this point.
You would, even as a as
As the
co-host.
co-host?
Chad, what do you got coming up this week?
We got MadEPAP on Tuesday.
MadEPAP. And a great MadEPAP we will have.
Have you even picked it?
Fuck yeah, bro. It actually, we are about to start workshopping something that's going to be very, very awesome, I think. And that will be coming up soon.
All right.
That's all
So
I
we
can
got
say.
that on Tuesday, and then Friday, Ascendant Art podcast. I think I have decided to sacrifice my sanity, and I'm gonna go see the new Avatar movie on Thursday.
Gross.
Spend the 3 hours looking at that.
Oh boy.
So we'll see how that goes.
I made it 3 minutes into that last one. I'm like, all right, yeah, I get it, and turned it off.
Dances with Whales didn't do it for you.
Fern Goalie? Yeah.
That was the first one.
Helen with the big fat butt.
I do not know what the runtime on this thing is.
It's
guaranteed.
James Cameron. It's gonna be fucking It's James Cameron, my guy. It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, so let me see, what time am I actually going to, because I wanna see, like, what am I committing to? How long am I gonna be in this thing?
That feels like after this show ends kind of a thing.
Yeah. It's anyway. But so that's what
Can you also check for, while Mad does his outro, can you check for memes?
No, I've got them loaded up.
Okay.
Oh, well, we can get to that because, I mean, basically, we had a joint promo every Tuesday night, guys, on my channel, the new channel. You're missing out. It's MadEPAP every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central, sometimes 9:15 p.m., but mostly 9 p.m. Central.
One time it's been 9.
And it's going to continue.
Let's bring up the memes.
All right. Let's share the screen. By the way, the Franklin memes have been cracking me up all week. So this one we have Franklin offers Ariana Grande a cheeseburger and a Bible. With what looks like Cynthia Erivo
as a demon.
As a demon.
Or, no, can't say the other thing she might be.
This Christmas, we're asking people who are on government benefits to donate $10 a month to help the working class families across the country. Oh, that's aimed at you, Somali people in Minneapolis.
Oh, and I also need to bring this up. Dead Man for $4.99. B, when the last time you picked the cloth? Haven't. But I also don't say that there's a class of people that should be the ones that have to do it.
I mean, I grew up on a ranch, and no thank you. I've lived that life.
No thank you, but also, if I didn't have a way to make a living, I'd be taking whatever job I could. Maybe
I'd move to Dearborn. I'd move to Dearborn,
Start some fraud.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Man, you need to start a cult. That's your calling.
Bro, I should. Honestly, for the people. Not for me, but to let,
If you join Mad's cult, you'll get a t-shirt. Don't
Well,
listen,
I'll
you
say
won't get a t-shirt. he
It's
will
only
promise,
fair.
you will get the same t-shirt the army gave him. So we've got in this meme,
Frogan.
Frogan gets emotional talking about how difficult streaming has been for her in recent months. Quote,
Oh,
Twitch
no.
streaming sucks. I effing hate it. It's been bad for a few months. It's my job, though. I have to focus on money. To which Asmongold responds, only in America can an overweight woman with brand new nails cry about not having money and then complain that her job sucks because she has to watch YouTube videos. Next, she is going to tell us she got PTSD from reading mean comments. She should have joined the military instead. All right. And then we've got Pam Bondi holding a can of spray Pam Experiments with the quote, "Nothing sticks when you use Pam." That's right. And we're about to get Comey's indictment completely thrown out because the judge down there has also ruled that they have to give the evidence back if they're trying to re-indict him, and they can't use it. So, because they were naughty when they got it through a subpoena. So that's where we're at with that one. We got some more. My father was hired to make windows for a transgender church, and it's an Optimus Prime stained glass window.
A transformer.
Please note that right behind him is the Autobot matrix of leadership behind his head, so they did get everything right for the lore.
No idea what you're talking about.
You don't know about the matrix of leadership? It lights their darkest hour?
No.
Did you not watch
I thought
the
those were the Green
Transformers
Lanterns.
Brahma, were you busy listening to Paul Harvey instead of going to the Transformers movie when you were a kid?
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
That is the worst Optimus Prime I've ever heard.
Can you imagine,
it's Paul Harvey.
Brahma's parents, like, "Hey, little Brahma, you want to go see the Transformers movie?" He's like, "No, Paul Harvey comes on at 12:30, and
Also,
I need to listen."
Also, can we talk about diversifying your portfolio?
It's like, I'm worried that you're not going to be completely indemnified in case of storm.
I too know 90s financial references.
Indemnification means getting paid back for
I know what it means.
Term.
All right, now we see research shows. This looks, by the way, like George Alexopoulos, and he gets really mad when people do this. They cut off the part where he has his name on it. But anyway, someone shared it. Research shows 69% of female gamers feel unrepresented in video games and wish more characters look like real women. And then you see this fat ass
Laura
Tomb Raider,
Croft,
like with the stamina bar just going down into the red as she's trying to climb just one little cliff. That's about right.
Yep.
Now we've got the dude with his white Russian, and the meme says, "Let's make one thing clear. The experts were never wrong. They were always just lying." That's a big difference.
Yep.
And now we've got a meme of Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen exploding someone with memes over Dr. Manhattan and the person exploding as media narratives.
They have him facing the wrong way if they wanted to be accurate.
I mean, I think this is also the part where he blows up Rorschach.
Sure.
So that's,
yeah.
I mean,
I saw the
using
movie.
that as the one. Yeah, who didn't? It was when Zack Snyder is given a work that he doesn't have to put any of his own creativity into, it comes out all right.
Watchmen was great.
Yep.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say.
I even think the change at the end was justified and made more sense for a movie.
I tried to rewatch it and I was like, man, this is so Zack Snyder-y.
I will say I did really like
it. Was so Watchmen-y.
The intro scene where the times are changing was actually really well executed.
Maybe I'll try to watch it again.
And Rorschach's whole character was
the girlfriend really
perfect.
likes that movie.
They tried to make him the scumbag that nobody liked, but then everybody was like, he's the best character.
Yeah, same with
me.
With the Captain America guy in the Falcon show.
Yeah.
Walker or whatever, they wanted him to be just as
Walker,
but he
agent,
was the only
US
good.
agent.
Yeah.
Look at him. He killed a terrorist who killed his minority partner. He's so evil and racist.
Didn't you hear the music and saw the angle? There was blood on the shield. Did you not see how many people Captain America killed in these movies?
Yeah.
What do you think happened when the shield ricocheted off of multiple people's faces?
When he in Winter Soldier, when he's on the boat and yeets the guy off the side with his shield, I was like, that is like that's like an 80-foot drop into the ocean. He is dead.
Yes, all of a sudden Captain America is Batman and doesn't kill anybody.
Even if he lived, no one went back for him.
Yeah, and then by the way, that boat blew up at the end, like it was gone. So he left all the terror. Even if he just knocked them out and left them on the boat, he let them all die.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not against that. I'm for it, but let's not pretend that this was so. Anyway, it's almost midnight. Let's
yep. All right, so we've got the "What do you see?" with a donkey.
It is midnight for you.
Pointing to it's 1 a.m. for me, to Miss Universe picture of Donald Trump with the hot models, and it's a blue-haired liberal girl saying Trump hosting Miss Universe pageant. And then they put a little square redaction over the girls, and he goes, "How about now?" And the blue-haired liberal is like yelling, "Epstein, Epstein."
Yep. Because they released a whole bunch of pictures. And the funny thing about it is,
I've only seen one.
After a certain time, there is Trump in certain pictures. Then after a certain timeline, Trump's not in the pictures, but a whole bunch of Democrats still are. Because they kept dealing with Epstein. Trump did not.
Yep. All right, so we've got the picture. Democrats release another batch of photos of women whose lives were ruined by Trump. We've got Hillary Clinton redacted. We've got Kamala Harris redacted,
Barack.
and then we've got Barack and Big Mike over there redacted. What type of choice is this? You've got it says RA, an open space IST, and the red pill is C, and
C.
the blue pill is P, which all right, using Franklin in your memes goes against US copyright laws. And then it's Franklin saying, "Quit being such a pussy."
What country is that actually from? Is it
Canada.
England or Canada? Because they're like, yeah, no, that's not how we use them, eh? He's not supposed to be used like that. I went Irish with that one pretty quick.
I thought you went French Canadian. It was a little
bit,
acceptable.
Little French.
I do the best accents.
I think that covers all our memes.
That knock them out?
Yep,
Nice.
all 3 batches.
As for me, like I said, go join the Discord. I'll post that one more time. And then I'll be on Comix tomorrow. I'll be on Mad's channel on Tuesday. I will be on, I think we got a Christian panel on the 17th. And that's on Keri's channel. Back on Comix on Thursday. Friday, Ascendant Art. Saturday, Bourbon and Boarding. And then back here Sunday night. It's one of the busy weeks. Dead Man for $4.99, thank you, says FMK, Janeway, Jellicoe, or Archer.
Who is Jellicoe, Archer, and Janeway?
Jellicoe. All right, so these
the
are
only
all
one I know out
captains.
of those is Janeway.
So Janeway was the captain of the Voyager. Jellicoe was the one who took over the USS Enterprise when Picard got. Remember that 2-part episode when he was the 4 lights? Jellicoe was the captain who decided that this is not some cruise ship. We're going to actually run it like a military place. He told Deanna Troi to get out of that little mini skirt and get in a goddamn uniform.
Okay, well, that sounds like I guess that's a very specifically Chad only super chat. If you want to do an FMK for the rest of us,
no,
Archer
trying to get me to talk Star Trek is what's
Archer was USS Enterprise, the Enterprise TV show.
What's your FMK, man? Ain't nobody worry.
Chad, go for it.
Which one is FMK? I'm trying to.
F, marry, kill.
Oh, FMK. Oh, well, considering only one of them is a woman, I'm going to bow out of.
Wait, what?
Janeway's a woman.
Oh, so that would be the kill. Go on. What's the other 2?
For the rest of us, in reality, that's the F. Marry Archer, kill Jellicoe.
Who has a similar build so I can use their I can double my wardrobe.
Well, Archer was is that Bakula?
Yes, Archer's back. Scott
Bakula. I like him. He'd be cool to hang out with.
Jellicoe was you remember RoboCop? He was the vice president that was the villain. What is his name? He was also in Total Recall.
Sure, man. If you say it must be so.
You remember,
I was half listening. It's after midnight.
What was his name in RoboCop? The vice president who was the villain.
Why won't you let us go to sleep?
I don't know.
Dick Jones. Dick Jones.
Okay.
That's the actor. Ronnie Cox is the actor. There you go.
And this is
Chad
why
had the
the
answer.
thumbnail says a political show mostly, or a mostly political show.
So he is Jellicoe, and Janeway is obviously Kate Mulgrew.
Just tell us who you're FMKing.
I don't want. I'm 2 are men. I'm not involved with that.
Wow. See, Chad, when you ask me, I give you the answer.
That's because
I gave an answer even.
Like, you're the kind of person who watches Brokeback Mountain lovingly with another man. I don't.
Man, you get that story wrong every time.
All right, here's some end credits. I'm sure we'll keep talking. Everybody have a great week. We'll
How do I
catch you
get it
later.
wrong? You're with a bro.
That's
You
not how it. That's no.
You snuggled up
no.
to him and you watched.
Okay, we didn't have a lot of room. We were in a fucking building in Iraq. We had a love seat with like 5 of us on it. It wasn't it wasn't sexual. Sometimes, the main thing though is that we thought it was a cowboy. We thought it was a western.
Why is it halfway through you're on his lap?
Who?
You.
Who's Alana?
Halfway through, you were on his lap.
There wasn't a lot of room.
Chad bringing up the Mad lore. Everyone has to be aware of the lore of Mad. This is important.
And then they
How
should
does
go
it
sub to Mad's new channel, and Ascendant Art, where you can hear more of Mad's lore. Also, thank you to everybody who super chatted tonight. Appreciated very much.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, Chad, I kind of like Dart. He got some of that swagger to him.
He does. Did you see the clips of his younger brother?
No.
His younger brother is in high school and he's like running all over people. He's quarterback too. And the coach is like, yeah, he's actually better than Jackson was at his age.
I gotta find that thing that he did with John Gruden, where John Gruden's like, he asked him something, he's like, bro, wait till you hear this. Wait till you such a dude, bro.
Have you been watching the Hard Knocks clips?
I find it hilarious
I've been watching
that I don't watch the NFL anymore, and John Gruden follows me on Twitter, but he doesn't follow either of you guys.
That's because I've been shadow banned, and you know that.
Like, that's because you're gay.
Why?
No,
and I'm not no
Brahma.
more.
I'm talking to Brahma.
I will not carry. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
Chucky
bet it's
Doll
because
follows me because I'm gay. I'm super
no,
straight, bitch.
you probably paid for a membership to whatchamacallit. What's the one that he works for now at Portnoy?
Rivers is about to throw a pass to his
Barstool?
grandson. By the way, good on him for winning today.
Rivers didn't win today.
Yeah, the Colts didn't win today?
No, they lost.
No, they didn't.
They lost on a field goal. Rivers got it with 40 seconds left and threw an interception to seal it.
Oh, well, that's... Wait, what?
That
didn't
sounds like
happen.
Rivers.
It's not what I saw on Twitter.
Meanwhile,
I guess you're right, huh?
managed a win that was more than 1 point.
By the way, Phillip Rivers did still manage to win because do you know that if you play in the NFL, from when your last active game was, you get insurance for 5 years, including your dependents, and it's paid for by the NFLPA.
He has 9 kids.
He has 10 kids.
Oh, sorry, 10 kids. I was saying 9, trying to be hyperbolic.
And his last season prior to starting today was 2020. And so he was going to run out at the end of this year. And now he gets health insurance another 5 years for his whole family. And somebody looked up the rates. It was going to cost him $6,000 a month.
You know what? It's hard not to like him. He's so... I love his shit talking because he doesn't
high
curse.
School football.
Yeah.
I guess we're going bonus time.
And he's fat as
because Mad doesn't want to sleep.
Did you see how they put him in Madden?
In Madden, they made him look like remember the old Kentucky quarterback that played for the Giants?
Yeah. Yes.
They made him look like Butterbean with a football helmet on. They used like an offensive lineman body animation for Phillip Rivers.
All right.
And then when I saw him today, I was like, you know what?
Night,
Madden wasn't that far off.
Bye, everybody.
Night.